Many of the times when Liberians come to the States, driving becomes an issue for them. So the train coming here will give people the opportunity to find better jobs, to be able to move around easily, and will cut down some of the costs that we incur on ourselves. Some of the older people, we got people who have to go for them and bring them to buy their groceries. Now, they can do it on their own. The Blue Line coming to Brooklyn Park, especially where we are concentrated, will be a blessing to most of us. Many of the times when Liberians come to the States, driving becomes an issue for them. So the train coming here will give people the opportunity to find better jobs, to be able to move around easily, and will cut down some of the costs that we incur on ourselves. Some of the older people, we got people who have to go for.
Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
And I'll tell you, let me say, welcome to it. Welcome to it. Let me say welcome to another edition of the closing argument here. Again, today is January.
Stop it. You're in February. What are you thinking? Oh, January.
Yes, things are exactly 2024. Again, let me say welcome to it. We are glad again to be here for another edition of the argument. Too many things to talk about on tonight. Too many things to talk about. Very shortly, I will be joined by the panelists. We're going to be coming live, doing one or two in the back, and I'm going to be joined by them.
One, two. You can hear us?
Oh, yeah, we're here. You can hear us, right? Henry,
yeah, Henry, you can hear us? Where are you going?
Yes.
Well, we got two Henrys here, so and it's not fair. We got to get another Lofa in here.
The distinction got to be that Aaron Jara and Henry Peabody.
Henry, my namesake. Yeah.
You know, Mala, we still got to bring another Lofa in here. We got to even it up.
We got a lot of Lofa in Maria now. A lot of Lofa in the government. We got a lot of Lofa. Huh?
Let me go on E-Mansion and see what's going on over there.
Boy, it's the news. Oh my God, boy, it's gonna be crazy.
Happy Friday, guys! Happy Friday,
my brother.
Yeah, same to you guys.
It's gonna be crazy, ladies and gentlemen. So
yeah, there's a whole lot of things to talk about, man.
You better stay on that dial, folks. Just join us and share the video. Share the show.
Share the video. You know, again, you guys know every time my thing here is I'm always about promoting Liberia, right? And every opportunity I see and have to promote something about Liberia, I use this platform to the best of my ability. And let me sound a disclaimer. When I'm doing these things such as, promoting people's music on here, it's not because I know them or they contacted me, but when I like it, I try to share it. Sharing is caring, right? So when I share it and you like it too, that's another way to get our artists out there, our musicians, because believe it or not, these young men and women are contributing to our society to some extent, all right, immensely. So I came across this new track from Dench. It's called New Set, right? He said he became a new person, and he's talking about his new self and how things have changed and a whole lot. So and I relate to a lot of the things that he said. So I've been listening to it all day. Matter of fact, I had an office going on that. Couple co-workers I had listened to it, and I normally do that to all of the Somebody said a YouTube link.
Yeah, the YouTube link should be on.
It should be up here.
Yeah,
right.
it is there.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, I just let Henry, if you don't mind, guys, let me just play a part of this. I won't play the whole thing, but let me just play a part of it. Look him up on YouTube. It's Dench, Daniel George. I know he was one of the most talked about CDC campaigners. He made the music for them, but he's a talented young man. So I listened to it today. If you guys don't mind, I'd like to play it a little bit so we can listen to it. All right.
Dench, baby. With my new baby. Oh yeah. I love it. I walk with my hair up, with my hair way up, and then I wear my smile. Thank God for life. Been to hell and came back. I saw demons with long hair. You wanted me to take my life, but never hold me down. When bad people throw me down. Yes, I picked me up on the mountain, made me shine. Yeah. Yes, he hold me down. He said, my son, go and bluff with your new set. See me bluff with my new set. I keep bluffing, I will bluff with my new set. See me bluff with my new set. Oh yeah. Bad vibes, I don't fuck with you. Fake friends, I don't fuck with you. I'm sorry if I use the F word, but I fuck with my real.
The heart and soul of Liberia.
All right. That's part of it. Like I said, sorry if you use the F word. No family, we got kids.
And then just graduated. It was this gone Tuesday from the United Methodist University. Dana George, he's just graduated also this gone Tuesday from UMU here in Liberia.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
yes,
good. That's good. But anyway, St. Tomalin George.
Guys, good to be back again on the closing argument. Today's Friday, the last day of the week. Of the work week, depending on how your schedule look. But it's good to be back because there are lots of breaking news, a lot of news coming. We are deep inside the UP camp and the presidency, and it's getting. We say, I repeat, the state of the nation is in distress, and we stand by President Boyka 100% that the state of the nation is in distress, and he said, "But the hope of our people is alive." It's true. I want to warn those who are trying to disturb the peace of our country to be very mindful that President Boyka was elected to protect and defend the constitutional laws of our country. We are going to support the president in defense of this country. The president, he's the president and commander in chief. Deserves all the support from the people. For during the campaign, our friend said the country must be rescued, and we agreed. And we agreed we should rescue the country. And we agreed that we're doing this for the sake of of a sense of nationalism and patriotism, not for jobs, not for anything else. We're doing it for the love of country. So the president is prerogative to appoint whoever he chooses. He deems necessary to appoint. So a lot's happening. President Boyka is under pressure, but President Boyka, rest assured, you got people like Lofa Julius and others.
Oh, yeah.
Take the pressure from off you.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We must protect the republic.
We will. And we will. With all, what everything we have in us, with every breath in us, we will protect the sanity of the state. We will protect the idea of providing job opportunity not based on merits or close proximity to people in government, especially if you don't possess what it takes to be considered for that position. If you think that having to have chanted battle cries in the streets and threaten other people because of your close proximity to folks in your party, you're dead wrong. Because at this point, at this juncture in our country history, we are at the very genesis of growth, development, and transformation. So if you did not prepare yourself to compete, and you thought that, having to leave from the United States where opportunity is available to you, or where opportunities are provided to people based on merits and not based on their close proximity or the travel lines, then you are misleading yourself, because we warned you all before we got to this point. It was obvious that Liberia had to put herself on the right trajectory. And when Honorable Boycott said, then when Honorable Boycott, matter of fact, described the state of the nation, you applauded him. You celebrated him. So we will all defend Honorable Boycott to make conscious decisions in the best interest of Liberia. If you don't have what it takes, sit back, relax, and whatever is left on the table, the crumbs, we will consider you, because you're a Liberian. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I got a video, as a matter of fact, of the I guess the chairman of the United Party having organized a protest, and I want to play that video.
Yeah, just cue it that the other guys, that the guys get situated.
Yeah.
Peabody, welcome. We're expecting Chairman Sanvee. We're expecting Keff Hassan, and I know Grace will join us. Other folks will join us. Larry will join us, I know. But we'll make this day interesting today.
Yeah.
But, I can say this, that with the UP they are having some serious issues within the camp. They are frustrated right now. Take it or leave it. Some of our friends are not happy. They are even threatening to protest even the president's house on Monday if this weekend is nothing comes from out of from what's happening. There was a meeting held at a place called Mary Shop last night, attended by most of our friends
from here,
from the states and from on the ground, and they came out with a demand that the president must act. The recent appointments he made at the Freeport is causing a lot of problems in the camp. And everything, and people have been placed and programmed. But look, let's get our guys involved. Peabody, welcome, and just tell us what happened at your end, what you're hearing, and everything. Let's get this program started, guys.
Man, look, I'm hearing a lot. I'm hearing that people are bringing names and changing it and adding names and taking a name. You could be told that you are going to be appointed to a position tomorrow, and if you don't stay there to follow up, the next day they're going to remove your name from the list. But I mean, I've been in contact with a lot of friends. Look, man, I'm going to get into this later, but it's crazy. One of my friends I spoke with, and he was very honest to share with me today. He said, "Look, man, I went to Liberia to run a campaign for President Boyka. He doesn't have to give me a job. He said, I have a job already. Then he didn't promise me he was going to give me a job. Yeah, I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to force it." He said, "But what I want people to understand is you can't force your way in. He has the prerogative of appointing. If he wants you, he will appoint you. If he does not want you, he will not appoint you. So, but a lot of people, I heard, is getting frustrated. Someone in Monrovia, the one be city mayor, they were promised. There was a list that was promised from somewhere with a name on it. Some wanted to be city mayor, some wanted to be, they want to be deputy DEA officer and all of that. And they are all in Monrovia thinking that they will get a job. But you know, man, if you didn't get a job, do the honest thing. You campaign, and that's a good thing. To be a campaign staff, it's a volunteer job. You should understand that it's a volunteer job. So just go back and come back and do your little work. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. You help, you volunteer, and your candidate won. So come back. But from what I'm hearing now, it's really crazy. Everybody running behind job. Even some of the folks who have been jobless in Liberia for years. You got the brother then from the U.S. now running there. That they are worried that the brother from the U.S. might take that job, and then they could be jobless for the next 12 or 13 or more, another more 6 years. So it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. But you know what? I mean, President Parker has the prerogative of appointing who he wants to appoint. So I don't know why people are getting mad. People are getting frustrated. But look, there are some people who really work, and if I were to recommend them to get a job, you know, I think they should just consider them. A few people that I know that work very hard. You know, I haven't heard the name of Mo Ali yet. I haven't heard the name of Mepet Gunner yet. You know, I haven't heard Stephen Victor Kaiser. You know, Jerome Jai, some great guys who work very hard. George Lobo, who spent countless nights on different drive-through and different media and getting that story. Look, man, Robert Quade, those are Robert Quade. Are you Uhuru yet? I mean, all those guys work really hard, man. I think if I was recommending, those folks should be considered, man. But the name we're hearing now, boy.
Dr. Peabody, let me differ with you strongly on that recommendation that you are making, because it honestly holds no ground. The reason why people advocate and volunteer their services is not to get something in return. Not a single one of those individuals made any claim as to why they were doing it, and they mislead our people to believe that politics is interest when they are trying to shield or hide their low undermining cuss. So the reality, they did not in any way, shape, or form tell Honorable Boycott that they were doing it to be rewarded with jobs. They were doing it as patriots. So we would not use this platform in other medium to sell these individuals. Honorable Boycott is competent enough. He worked in government for 40 some more years, where he is well-rounded and informed of people's competence and ability to make impact. So he will not simply appoint a person because you sat on one platform countless hours of your time and expect to be rewarded with government job. No, that is not how jobs are given. And Dr. Peabody, let me close on this note here. The reason why the great United States is the way she is today is because people are awarded jobs based on merits. It's not based on who know you or your affiliation in the political party. These individuals knew exactly what they signed up for, and they told us that Honorable Boycott will be upright, rational in his decision making. And he's shown to us that it's not about how much time you spend. So he's here to make sure that the right decision is made. Let them wait. Let them wait in line. That's why they chose to serve in that capacity. Don't tell me politics is interest. And that is misleading to the core. When one say politics is interest, we are speaking of the best interest of the nation, not your individual selfish interest or your pocket. That is not the politics.
Well, guys, let me just announce this is the closing argument. We are live on Hot FM.
Folks are not getting the YouTube channel.
Hot FM 107.9. Bada Zizi is in studio for that. We got Oni Roberts live on True FM 96.9. We're also in Nimba, Sakipie, BAM 96.1. We have Ato, Bola, Oni Roberts, and Jala Balazize. These guys are all making this show to go on live all over the country. We give kudos to them. They are all in the studio there, making sure these things are happening. Again, I want to say thanks to Abbott, iTalk Baller, Oni Roberts, Henry Jala Balazize. You guys, we are live on Hot FM 107.9, Truth FM 96.9, and Nimba Sakapie and BAM 96.1. Let's make this day great. People got to know why Allen White is still in Liberia. Allen White been in Liberia since the a week before the inauguration. But Prince Johnson, I sent you a message. I told you, Senator Johnson, Allen White is there to make sure that he's doing his job, making sure that the war crime code is established. And then another thing, Allen White is getting so powerful in Liberia. He's also now deciding who go to where. You won't believe it. He's involved in who's getting appointed to certain position, whatever the case. But Allen White, don't forget, the president, Minister of State, and Chief of Staff is close buddy to Allen White. Allen White is there in the Cape Hotel there, where they are based, and a lot of things happening there. And they are running the show. So all the guys who with the rescue mission, you guys are off for a long haul. The guys they are there preparing.
Hey guys,
They fight for the very minister's position. Right there, one of the reasons why you see Madam Bessler is on attack is people are fighting. Infighting is taking place and happening. Even again, the Minister of Commerce, Dexter, Amin Modad, I pray the Senate confirms him. He deserves to be confirmed. The guy should be given the opportunity to serve his country. He's a Liberian. His mother is from Lofa. His father, whatever the case, but he took a citizenship when he became the age of 18 by consent, according to the law. So Amin Modad should not be prevented from serving his country. Chairman Luther Tape, the ruling party chairman, is now in hot water with President Boyka. He's in hot water with Boyka. And then another one is that information from the camp says that there was a tip when, remember when UP had a convention and President Boyka ensured that Amin Modad was removed as chairman, and also Mo Ali. Mo Ali got mad and he was making some statement against the president at the time, the candidate. And I heard that Boyka has that recording in his possession, and he will give him a job, but perhaps he's just trying to delay. And then the guy, Robert Pade, he was promised to be the MD for MPA, he and Stephen Jefferson Jr. But then after the president agreed to all this stuff, Robert was in London for his graduation, and next thing you hear, somebody was appointed yesterday. One of the president financier were appointed as MD. So look, a lot's happening. Guys, we'll get down to it. But the UP, I repeat, the state of the nation is in distress, and but we are going to make it better. We're going to support the president in his initiative. We will protect him and make sure that nobody undermines the peace and security of our country. President Boyka is the president.
Something strange happened today.
You should give him his opportunity to serve and do his job. You should not be making threats and disturbing the peace. Go ahead, Peabody.
So something strange happened today that I'm going to bring to your attention. What did the former speaker donate an ambulance with the presidential ambulance? Wow, that was kind of strange to me. He went to the president's house and presented an ambulance, and it was put their presidential ambulance. I mean, it was a gift, but should the president even be accepting a gift from guys like Buffer Chimmer and stuff like that?
Welcome, Chairman Sanvee. Welcome, Keff Hassan, and Sylvester people. Welcome, and guys, look, let's make this interesting. Buffer Chambers, he was speaker he been in the play for 16 years, I think, and he lost his job. He went for a rerun. He got flogged, and now he's trying to get an ambassadorial position. So the next thing to do is to start to go and suck up to the president and do all these things. He didn't give ambulance to his own party government at the time, but now he decided to do it. But
he uncounted.
Uncounted, yeah. So that's why he got whipped, and that's why he got whipped. That defeat, he deserved it. But Chairman Ben Sanvee, you got some breaking news. Give us the news you got, Chairman Sanvee.
I got breaking news. What breaking news? Guys, it's good to be here. It's good to be here, guys. Thank you to everybody for joining in. I want to thank everybody for following us. Interesting day. Interesting day. A lot going on in the country. We look forward to having a very fine discussion this evening about the state of the affairs of our nation. The president has said that the state of the nation is in distress, but the people, the hope of the people, is alive. Listen. First of all, I don't think the state of the nation is in distress. I disagree with that. I think we have some challenges, serious challenges. Distress is a strong word. There may be people who are in distress, but I don't think the entire state of the nation is in distress. But I look forward to having some fascinating conversations today. I know you're talking about buffer chambers and the different things that have been happening. I have a whole different twist to this, and I will be sharing my thoughts as we have the conversation. But it's good to be here. Thank you, guys.
Keff Hassan.
Well, I would say hi to everybody. Well, let's. Where would I start? The buffer chima stuff. I feel that Buffer lost the election, and he realized that JMB loved to play. He loved to play. You know, he saw PYJ play, and he got something. So JMB loved the pay to play. So hey, he's a politician. You know, he know that JMB loved to play. A lot of people playing. And how you know that JMB loves to play by his the way he's setting up his government, you know, leaving some of his guys. Hey, so he loves to play, so he playing, and that's what. But there's a lot of things there for us to talk about, you know. Before the election, a lot of people were talking about JMB, you know, government that he's going to set up, and they told us they have a lot of good vetting team. But we have seen his internal affairs minister, Francis Nimale, that he actually handpicked to kind of be his internal affair and local government, as they're saying. It's a big job, you know, to decentralize government and all those things. But this is a man who boasts as I'm a old rebel. I will kill people and all that stuff. So if JMB, who's saying he won war crime court and he bring in a killer and playing with another killer, hey, guys, we'll show the video and with time, and you guys let the Liberian people, you know, decide. This is what we got. You actually handpick a guy who say I will kill somebody. So we'll talk about it. We'll play the video for Liberian people to listen.
The Honorable Sylvester K. Peewee.
But thank you for having me, and let me say a wonderful good afternoon to the comrades on and the very resilient followers. I think I'm deeply also concerned about what is unfolding in the country. What Kev just ended on, that's one of my concerns. Normally refer to him back at the University of Liberia, call him Uncle Yimane and the rest of it, but I'm very deeply disappointed in statement coming out to say you would openly on live camera state that you will eliminate someone openly and say you refer to yourself as a rebel in this kind of a dispensation, and you get appointed part of the president cabinet. I would think that is not only repugnant, but I think it's unacceptable.
It's quite unfortunate that he will allow himself to be dragged into those kind of a thing and making these kind of incendiary comments to agitate the base in the way that he did. But another major thing that's unfolding basically back in the country is this issue about the growing level of the way some of the comrades are getting nervous, and there's a growing disillusionment creeping into the base in terms of the way the structure of government is now moving to, and the appointment process about major government officials and the rest of that. So I will really hope that to calm the base, there should be some things done too. Because listen, if you pay your dues in a major movement, you should be recognized. It's important. One of the folks stated today that I was shocked to hear that most of those that are being appointed now just high school graduates, as compared to those that sacrificed for the revolution and the rest of that. I think and I do agree with Ben that the state of the nation, as a student of competitive government, the structure of government, the state of the nation is not in distress, because to draw that level of the state of the nation being distressed, you only have inherited around $40 million in the structure of the consolidated, and where in all of the structure of government being very well in place, the police, the military is in place, the structure of the administrative line is also well in place, all of the superintendents are deployed. The banking system in the country is getting more vibrant. We have a lot of things unfolding in the country in terms of that. So it's not in distress. There may be some exogenous petty challenges, and that we can overcome collectively as a nation as we move through the process. But again, all these things are politics, but it is important to acknowledge the major things that are basically unfolding in the country. But again, it's an important process that we protect the sanity of our democracy, we maintain the process well, and keep people that's supposed to be contributing in a more vibrant, productive way to the country moving forward. It's an important thing. I think I will agree that and thank the platform for trying to dissect all of those things in a more friendly way, in a more interactive and informative way. That's the kind of a line. We use our intellectual skills, our wisdom to portray ourselves as individuals that believe in democracy and protecting our country moving forward. It should not be the quest of finding a job. And again, those that the president will be appointing to positions to come with very clean hands in terms of competence, in terms of record, in terms of all those things. And then we move to project and promote our country. So I'm looking forward to a very interactive and wonderful show. Thank you very much, Aji.
Okay, guys, just welcome to guys. Look, because we got a lot to talk about today, let's give ourselves, each person, when you get a chance to talk, 90 seconds to talk, so yes, we can make it spicy, you know. Okay. But Sanvee, look, you've been in this thing for long. Chairman Sanvee, what's happening, man? The likes of Luther Tapper, the ruling chairman of the ruling party, Mo Ali, Stephen Johnson, name it, Robert Bade, all these guys, the rescue team, my own sister, Mepe Gono, Magdala Cooper, Rescue Ente. What happened to all these people? Why do you think they're not being given an opportunity to serve the country? And Chairman Sanvee, what's going on, man? You think the president is doing the right thing, or you think the guys deserve to be compensated with jobs? What do you think, Chairman Sanvee?
No. First of all, look, like I said, I have a different twist on this. I think the president should be given the opportunity to form his government. I think he should be given the space to form his government. I think whoever he believes shares his vision, shares his thought process in how he wants to implement his agenda for the country, he should be given the chance to form his government. I do not agree that people should be pressuring the president to the extent that they are protesting and issuing threats. I think the Constitution of our country gave the president the sole prerogative to appoint. If you supported the president because he promised you a job, I think you wait until he gives you that job. If he decides not to give you that job, it is his prerogative. Elections have consequences. The decisions that people make politically, they have to live by them. Now, do I believe that people should have the opportunity to serve their country? Yes, I do. I firmly believe that. I think there is no more noble calling someone can aspire to than one of service. But it don't necessarily have to be in a position that you think you should go into. Now, you should want to be placed in an area where you have expertise, because when you are serving the country, you want to be able to provide your best and put your best foot forward. So I totally disagree with those who are agitating for jobs. I don't think that our country is a banjo meat that you support a president and then you start protesting or start threatening him. Let's not forget. And let me state for the record, I think what Luther Tapper did today, I think there's a video. Hopefully we get to play that video. I think it is reprehensible. It is disgraceful. It's disgusting. Being a former national chairman of a political party, Luther Tapper should have been the one who will be calming people down. He should be the one providing leadership. He should be the one telling people that this government is just 2 weeks old. By the way, the president has only appointed 50 persons, 50 and counting, maybe. I don't have the exact numbers. There are 3,000+ appointed positions in the Liberian government that the president has the right to appoint. I don't even think President Weah appointed all those people. He never did for 6 years. Yeah. Not once did I see the chairman of the CDC leading a protest to the president's house. Not once did I see people getting upset. Yes, people may have been disappointed. People may have felt that they were supposed to go in a particular direction. But like I said, that is the prerogative of the president. You gave him the chance to form his government. Let us not forget that a lot of these people who are agitating today were the ones who were insulting people who did not support this president.
Thank you.
And we're saying that the people who did not support this president were only doing it because they were not patriots. They didn't love the country. I got a lot of insults. There are people on this platform who got a lot of insults for not supporting Joe Buckeye, because Joe Buckeye was supposed to be the measurement and the testament of what patriotism represents.
The same.
I support this president now. You know why I support him? Because he's my president. Elections are over. Let's give the president the opportunity to run the country and let him deliver for all Liberians. What Luther Tapper, and if I was President Joe Buckeye, I would not give Luther Tapper a sweeper job in my government. I think it is totally wrong. It's reprehensible. And by the way, Mr. Chairman, being the national chairman of a ruling party is no small position. It's no small position. You can leverage your power. You can hold the government accountable. But this notion, what is Luther Tapper? What does he want to do at MPA so bad that he's sending people to go to protest at the president's house? First of all, that represents a national security threat. So is Luther Tapper telling everybody now who has, is he telling everybody who has a qualm with the government or a qualm with the president to assemble before his home? Totally reprehensible and wrong. These people should be ashamed of themselves. There are more appointments that's going to happen. There are more appointments that are going to come. They just need to chill. And let me say this before I end. There are more jobs. What's wrong with superintendents? We need vibrant young minds to go and be superintendents of our counties. What's wrong with county commissioners? What's wrong with development superintendents? Why everybody wants to go to MPA and Maritime and all these foolish places? I mean, these places, not foolish. Sorry, my line. I'm upset because These were the people who spoke and said that they were supporting Joe Barker because they wanted him to rescue this country. It is wrong, and we should not encourage it. Power is inherent in the people, and those people who are being used to go protest in the name of these people, you should stop doing that. Give the president the chance to run his government and to appoint the cabinet that he deems fit, that will deliver on his agenda to quote unquote rescue Liberia.
Peabody, Reverend Peabody, Dr. Peabody. The country right now, it's been 10 days. The president in office for 10 days. Today make it 10 days. His cabinet is still not complete. Ministry of Lands and Mines, the Ministry of he just appointed a guy who today I'm calling on the president to reconsider that appointment nomination of Francis Nominee. Someone cannot threaten to kill immigration officer, and then you appoint to that position. The Senate, the Liberian Senate, if they confirm him, will be to give sending a bad signal to our people. Somebody can threaten and issue threat about killing someone, and then you confirm them. So we hope the Senate will be on notice for that nomination. But Peabody, what's your take on what's happening right now within the UP and within the appointment of the president? Everything's happening. You're hearing the news. You and I privileged a lot of information. And what are you hearing? What's your take on it?
Well, you know what happened, especially with Mr. Luther Tape. Look, I mean, let me come from the other side. You know, I don't know whether Luther had tried to reach out to the president and couldn't get there. He called and was not given opportunity. And his team member. This is a normal stuff in Liberia where you have people go out there and demonstrate. That's the only way they can have their voice heard. A peaceful demonstration. They are entitled to it. They go outside and peacefully demonstrate outside the president's home. We saw that happening not too long during the election. There were folks out there who demonstrated close to not far from president's "We are home." I think that I think UP was not prepared. They were not prepared. I mean, they blamed the CDC. Oh, the CDC came to power and they could not name official, but they came to power. They have more than enough time to name their cabinet, especially the main ones. They were not prepared, and you have every other. Look, what I heard today from an insider, they are putting names that should be appointed, and they are letting the people know that you are going to be appointed. As soon as the people turn it back, they remove the name and ask somebody's name, and then call it on the national radio. I know somebody who they removed from that list. I'm not going to call the person's name, but 2 or 3 times they removed his name before they had to put it back. So what I'm seeing is seeing a group that is not organized. But let's be honest here, folks who fought for this election, who fought for this party, even though it's the prerogative of the president to appoint and fire, but there are some people who committed the time and did everything, and they are bringing people who did not do much and they are putting them there. I think it's sad, you know. But the thing is, as we said earlier here today, if you are a volunteer, don't expect to get a job. He can appoint you if he wants to appoint you. But I don't think it should be something binding that he's compelled to do it. He's not compelled to appoint you if you volunteer for him. If you went out there and did things, he's not compelled to appoint you. You know, it's not something here that you should leave your job in the U.S. and go to the president's house and sit there from in the morning to in the night and trying to get job and things like that. One thing I don't understand our folks here is, if you are doing so well in the U.S., why you want to go back home and take a job? And it have been proven that most of our brothers and sisters who went back to that country did not set any example. They went in there and just after some time joined the team, and they were all corrupt. They were stealing money. They were accused. So they didn't set a lot of example in changing the narrative, in helping people fight corruption, in bringing something new. Okay. With that said, President Barker is his prerogative who he wants to appoint. I don't think people should make an issue. People should demonstrate out there and saying that the man should give a job. But at least I think the president should also consider that other people who fought for the revolution and must be given opportunity, especially young people. Young people must be given a chance, and that I can insist that young people must be given a chance to at least work in this government. You can't keep bringing the same old people who can't even use a email, don't even have an email in this government. You want them to work. I think it's sad. It's that.
Lofa,
Yeah.
Wayne, Lofa, so our friends, like for example, one of our colleague, former colleague, Angus Duarte was promised to be mayor of Morovia, but he didn't get it. And I think John Siafa, the guy who led the cleanup campaign effort, he's the mayor now, designate. And also, our friend Bade, I heard he was also promised the MPA boss job, and also the Yakesin Jr., all these guys. But Baka yesterday appointed Ducle, one of the guys, one of his financier. But it appears as though those who help him financially are the ones who he appointing, though, and not the real rescue guys, rescue sisters, rescue brothers, rescues, all the rescuers. They're not being considered. What's your take on it?
I want to use this opportunity to thank the president for such wisdom. Okay. He is exercising true wisdom and understanding of leadership. For a man who worked in government for 40 some more years, he knows what he's doing. Okay. He's considering the current state of the nation and the fact that the United Party came to rescue Liberia and not to simply be a part of the pot simply because you chanted battle cries. Look, Tomalin, let us be real to Liberia and everybody else on here. All right. We cannot continue to set bad precedents. The reason why you see the young men and women at the universities of the universities chanting battle cries and wanting to be a part of the different university political groups is because they feel like it's rewarding. They will gain that recognition and they bring it to national government. You see them every day in the streets claiming to be protesting. When other countries around the world, young people are investing time in libraries, they're researching and being innovative. We are encouraging these young people to see their only way out as politics. No. When they start to see people being rewarded because they contributed to some kind of political process, they will think that is the only way out. Honorable Boyka is utilizing whatever means he has to his advantage, and that is his wisdom. If you have not been recognized or called upon to join the rescue team, it's okay. You should celebrate at least you were convincing enough to get Liberian to support your candidate. And that's the reason why today your candidate is representing you. The success of the Unity Party government represents you and everybody else. It don't matter how much money, it don't matter how much time you invested. Let us stop these bad practices. Let us stop misleading the young people and making them to think that when they devote their time to all of these things, they should be rewarded with government jobs. No. If they can't, they don't have what it takes to serve in that capacity, send them somewhere to acquire the needed knowledge. Okay? There are several other things that could be done. The reason why in the great United States, and I continue to say this, people volunteer the services, and someone will say, oh, maybe President Boycott promised them. Guess what? Yes, maybe he saw things differently on the campaign trail. But when he got there, when he was elected, he now sees things from a first-hand perspective, and he needs not to consider you for that position again, because you know what? He's now actually standing forth and defending what you told the people that you came to rescue. You're not here to seek jobs. Let him bring the competent ones. Let him bring the ones who are ready to move Liberia forward, and let them sit back. Let those who he don't see to be qualified sit back. Remember, 40 some more years of government experience is not something that you can just easily watch and say because he been there. No, let us leave Honorable Boycott alone in his wisdom. This is one of the best things that ever happened to Liberia. And this man will definitely rescue Liberia. Under his stewardship, Liberia will be rescued. Let those young men and women who left the United States to seek jobs in Liberia come here. We still have thousands and thousands of jobs that we can give you. Come here.
What's wrong with the private sector, Lofa?
Okay, thank you. Why aren't we taking jobs? Go out there and be the next entrepreneur. Go out there and provide a support again The government will not support everybody being in the government. So it really, let me be honest with you. It is disgraceful that we will sit here and support this bad behavior, and Luther Tarper should be embarrassed. He should be ashamed of himself. Okay, he should resign. If I were him, he should resign and don't even consider going back there. It is embarrassing. It is, as a pastor, a man of God, you're now leading this kind of practices. Shame on all of them who are now advocating and crying around here. If any one of them call you, Tomalin, to complain about not having a job, hang up your phone in the ear. Until we rescue Liberia, we will do what is best in the interest of Liberia. And then some of us will go there and create job opportunity and hopefully bring some of them on board to work for Liberians. Until then, they need to keep quiet. Thank you.
Well, this is the closing argument. We are making the argument is on for it's already on, and for 2024, we on the argument. This argument is on right now. But meanwhile, as a side distraction, before I go to my next panelist, some senators had a drug test today, but we don't know. Some senators I heard that came back with some drug test, came back with some issue. One of the senators, but we're still trying to find out who that senator is. But one of the senators, as did a public drug test, it says it's a gray area there. It's not too normal. So we'll find out who the senator.
Just stop that.
So we'll find out who the senator that having that problem with the drug issue. And we got to open the argument, man. The president called for a drug test, and we got to make sure that we find out who that senator that having problem with the drug that came out somewhat negative.
But what's the essence of the drug?
Well, the president says he wants to make sure that everybody normal, everybody on the right.
But you're not even treating people for drug, but you won't give them tests. What is that?
Well, Keff Hassan, that's weighing Keff on what all these things about these.
I think Keff spoke. I think that
no man, just coming in.
Keff, you spoke, man. You did your opening. That Duke and Sylvester, right?
Yeah, okay.
Duke and Sylvester.
When you talk about pay for play, you say boy can't let pay for play.
Yeah, but they didn't do the opening yet.
No, Duke hasn't said
no. Duke and
it was just an oversight. That's why I'm correcting you.
But we're not. I'm talking about.
I opened already. I spoke.
Well, thanks,
Don't
gentlemen.
pay attention to the show, man. You just
It's great to always. It's great to always be here, and it's good to have these discussions. Oh man, so listen, when we started off this morning, making a comedy out of the situation, but it became disappointing when I saw the front page Africa article and video, I believe, showing Luther Tappe leading a protest. If Porter highlighted the level of seriousness that we see in that country, and that man's just not an ordinary individual. He's one of the top individuals within the political institution. And after all you said over the past 6 years, to come, barely a month plus into this leadership and start protesting for job, that's not a good indication. But I think I'm getting to understand, what they meant by the experience, right? The governmental experience of President Boyka. And what I do see is a total repudiation of the Jefferson Koji theory. And I think that was a bad precedent that was set by the Weah administration, wherein the CDC prioritized incompetence in the name of partisan politics, and didn't really focus on those core issues that they needed to address from the appointments, right? So President Boyka sees that there are issues with our economy. He understands that it will take a lot of work and people with the requisite expertise. And I would think of all people, though, Unity Party partisans that have been very boastful about this, level of experience the president have to just, on the onset, distance himself and start attacking him. I mean, it sounds like mere comedy to me. But, I like the fact that he's poking, the system, his own political party. I like the fact that, they're not in control It seems to be that he has some idea in terms of what he believes or how he believes that his government should operate, and he's going to stick his guns. That's what I see, and that's what we won, right? That's what we said we won over the past 6 years, wherein the president was not somebody that could just be used, and he was somebody that could really tell the Liberian people what he intends to do and stand by his words. The continued disappointment here is that, yes, when you support political parties and there's the politics of it, you something, but supporting politicians, supporting individuals should not just be about how I can get government jobs, right? And I think we need to reduce government. By the way, the private sector is out there, right? Those are things. In addition to that, like Ben said, there are a lot of other positions outside of the National Port Authority and all these other positions that some of these young people possibly, if qualified, can be tapped to serve. Commissioners, like you said, you're talking about decentralizing government. You need somebody to leave Monrovia and go into these counties, into these other places and stuff, and actually show the law for country in those tough terrains, and possibly, though that would be some of the transformation we want to see. But overall, I'm disappointed in Luther Tappet. I'm really happy that the current president has shown us some of this government experience by taking on these issues and not really being bullied by political parties. And look, we're all here now to wear this jersey called Liberia. And regardless of what our political viewpoints are, we want this president to succeed, right? And so those who were supporters of the president during the campaign need to understand that, there should be a little patient and there should be some level of understanding when it comes to how he makes his appointment. And finally, somebody in the room in the Unity Party will have to call Luther Tappet and actually have a conversation. And if the Unity Party wanted to show some level of seriousness, and I do believe that there should be a call for resignation for Luther Tappet, I think it is wrong. It is childish. It is immature. That should not have happened, regardless of what the viewpoints are. And you know what, though? It further embarrasses the political party and some of these guys. Now people's just going to look at you as if you supported this man only for job, right? And so overall, hopefully we get to see, we would get to see, but the irony in all of this, some of you spend time calling other people and saying that, they made a decision based upon, what they got from it, right? And to be able to do something like this. And then lastly, I know I keep saying lastly, but this one's a key point. You know what's funny though? That we can spend time on social media, criticizing other people's credentials, calling them out and saying that they didn't say the truth about what they have put forth. But then we can still wear our clothes of hypocrisy and then say that the president should appoint people who don't even have the skill set in positions. I mean, what is Luther Tappet's qualification to serve at the National Port Authority? What are some of these people qualifications that we say that will prioritize them because of partisan politics? That's a brand of hypocrisy that I dislike, and I think that it is something that Liberian people need to watch. But kudos, President Boycott, and I think you're on the right course. This is the experience that we're looking for. This is the kind of leadership, and those guys shouldn't be crying now, because in the end, I think we have the type of government that we deserve, and we need to make sure that we're supportive of this president.
Well, Professor, Luther Tappet is a college professor in Liberia, I think. He's a college professor. And in fact, I've already contacted him. Hopefully, he will give us a call while we're on the show. We want to give him the due diligence that we're talking about him, and he wants to respond. He's free.
Tomalin, a lot of people are asking about the video. Did you want us to play it, or are we going to play that new money video first?
Yeah,
I want to know how to cue it.
I think we should play Luther Tappet video and then
let people finish, and we'll play the video.
Peabody already spoke, right?
Oh, okay.
Peabody get here.
Right? I didn't open it. Just to open it. I don't know if it's still.
Kev haven't spoken either.
So Kev.
Peabody, you need to pay attention.
No, but Kevin, you haven't spoken the second round, Ben.
I'm not spoken.
First round, we're all going around now. The second round,
hey, conduct the show. Who talked
the 20 minutes? The 20 minutes you spoke for, you probably forgot who.
No, but everybody has the first round. We all on.
No, Ben, you won your second round already.
That guy, second round. People haven't spoken second round.
So where are we?
You get a video queue now, so we can
Yeah,
play it.
yeah. I think
Now
that's
the video is cute.
play
I'll
the
let you guys
video
know
that will
play
come
it.
from there. Play the video, Lofa, that will come from.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That's all right.
Who's that?
They say you won't come from the video. You be careful if you're behind your phone. Walk away from Kev coming out of this video.
Falabu has become a nightmare in this place. You call your security bosses, let the fucking Falabu get out of here.
Ooh.
Or else I'll get the public. You're getting 100 security, you're getting 100 armed. We'll mob him to death. I'm saying it, you're recording. I'm tired. I'm tired. Anyway, here today, I swear to my damn mother. Anyway, I found Falabu. As I stay here, as I leave this place, anyway, I found Falabu, I will attack him. And you can carry 10 amen, 200 amen to go defend. Anywhere I found Falabu, in Foya they say today, I will attack him. I'm moving with men. I'm going to get 25 motorbikes. 333. That's 75%. Wherever Falabu move, I will move there. I'm done. Chief, I'm with Falabu here. There will be Howard. Falabu has become a nightmare in this place. You call your security bosses, let the fucking Falabu get out of here. Or else I'll get the public. You're getting 100 security, you're getting 100 armed. We'll mob him to death. I'm saying it, you're recording. I'm tired. I'm tired. Anyway, here today, I swear to my damn mother. Anyway, I found Falabu. As I stay here, as I leave this place, anyway, I found Falabu, I will attack him. And you can carry 10 amen, 200 amen to go defend. Anywhere I found Falabu, in Foya they say today, I will attack him. I'm moving with men. I'm going to get 25 motorbikes. 333. That's 75%. Wherever Falabu move, I will move there. I'm done. Chief, I'm done. I'm going to keep the game for you.
Wait,
Yo,
yeah, for us now.
That's Francis Umani, the guy nominated by President Bouaga to be our Internal Affairs Minister. That's a very powerful position in our country. And in fact, long before this election, I said it when he did that stuff. I said, if this man's ever appointed, we'll raise the issue. And we'll send this video to all the 30 senators in our country. We'll send it to the president, the vice president. We'll send it to every one of them. If this man nomination is not withdrawn, Liberian people should come stronger against it. When Zolizo was appointed by President Weah, because of the same video, same threatening remarks, the same UP folks, he meant that he be rejected. And Senator Dillon led that charge.
Yes.
And he was rejected. So President Yomani should be rejected. President Bouaga reconsider his nomination. But Kev, take us on the issue.
You know, when the incident happened in Foya, we saw sedition were killed by the Unity Party folks. There go the chief. Who did that? When sedition were killed, we saw it on video. We have the video. But during election time, everybody minds went all over the place. They didn't care about the lives of sedition. If you are a sedition, you should die. They should kill you. The video are out there. Unity Party know about this video. It's not strange. JMB know about this video. We play this video. We talk about this video. He said, I will kill them. That's not a strange video. And we saw sedition die in Foya. But because there was sedition, because in Liberia, you support the Unity Party, you're against its CDC, sedition, lives, doesn't matter. Or don't matter. Whatever it is. We saw CDC buried our people. They saw the funeral, they saw everything. Nobody, JMB, no comment. So to put more wound, more salt, or more fire, more pain on the wounds of sedition, you say, I will hire this killer. I will hire him. I will put him there. And Dillon will confront him. He will. He will. He will. You know why? I said because Dillon know about this tape. He should be talking about now. Because during the process to what Zolizo, Dillon were on, and our former channel were there talking every day what he was going to do. The opposition, black, everybody spoke against Zolizo. Yeah, Dillon will be the champion to confront this man. Oh yeah, he will lead the fight. Because you know why? The lives of sedition don't matter. Today, what we saw, what's her name? Queen. In the main streets. While Joshua is dead. But no, they will talk about Jeff Koji, who was less than 5 years old when the war started. That no evidence shows that Jefferson Koji killed somebody. That's the Liberia there. That's the Liberia we're having now. But a rebel who boasts I'm a rebel, Internal Affairs Minister Jefferson Koji, sanction. Who were less than 5 years old. That's the country. That's the country our people voted for. And it hurt so much to see Joshua family grieving and Queen Johnson putting her hands up, busting, walking around, believing what she did. I pray that one day the eyes of the Liberian people will open. One day. You know, there's let me say the last thing. Ben posted that of Martin Luther King, and I always post that. Ben, I don't remember it, but something about the silence of our friends. Please quote that for me. I beg you, my brother.
I'm gonna take your time.
Yeah, take that time. Take that time. Yeah, take that time. Good. Take that.
Hey, you want my quote? I'll take your time. Well, no. It's my favorite quote. That in the end, we will not remember the voices of our opponents or our perceived enemies, but we will remember the silence of our friends.
Yes, but people are keeping quiet today.
Hey, you already gave your time out.
Yeah. No, you see, Lofa, this is very. You know, Lofa, I used to talk to you in the back. And about all this thing, I used to talk to you in the back.
You did.
Sometimes when you want to talk to somebody where you have the pain in you,
yes,
I used to call you. I used to talk to you in the back.
You did.
I said some of us feeling the pain.
You did
of what happening. So I rest for now, my brother.
No, and Ben, not to take you, but Keff Hassan, I am a witness to that. You so many times, man. Kev will call me, and sometimes I would tell him, bro, I got this. There are thousands of witnesses out there, and they have this. So, I mean, I agree, man. It hurt. It's painful, especially to see that young man lying there and Quinn is still roaming the streets. But anyway, I'm sorry.
Sylvester Peewee, Sylvester Peewee, man. Look, you've been in this. Welcome, our Queen Grace. Welcome, man. Welcome. Good to see you.
And somebody put Queen up. Sorry, Grace up and bring me down. That's good. He said, "Guess up, put her up."
But great our Queen.
Our Queen.
Anyway, you're a Queen, man. Not our other Queen now.
Yeah, but But Sylvester, look, Sylvester, welcome, Professor Larry. But Sylvester, you work at first of all, let me ask you, what's your take on this issue about the fighting the foreign minister destiny? She's on a lot of attack, everything happening. We're learning that people in the UP are pushing Martin and others guys to be going after her. I know our queen, I know Grace. Yeah, I know you want to hear that one, but I will say Grace me go that one. You can hit me on that one, but again, people are now. I'm hearing that people want for Larry Toba to be the foreign minister. People want other people to be the foreign minister. Everything that we're hearing. But what your take, man? You worked in that era before and everything.
Yes, I think it is quite frankly it's concerning. I spoke with her, I think, about a week and a half ago when the appointment came.
I'm sorry, my brother, I didn't take it, but I wanted us to spend time on that video small, Tomalin, some others. I just recommend that.
Oh,
that,
yeah. Professor, let's focus on that video because that video is important. That guy cannot be confirmed. We got to make sure that we rescue the Republic.
So you want me to pivot? You want me to pivot from
that video? Let's rescue that Republic.
Neo-progressive. Pivot.
As the GPA can say, make a sharp right.
A sharp right.
Yes, I will do that. Yes. On the most serious note, I was trying to look at what Zorizo, I don't know if the name is correct, Zorizo did the last time versus this video. I think this is not only did he sound more belligerent, but the incendiary message behind the threat. And you saw how he was very serious about this process. And this is just of recent. And this is about, because the last time the president spoke, His Excellency President Bouaka spoke, he said that our democratic credential is well on course. And I will try to tap into the democratic credential of our country. This statement, this video, actually contravenes the line of what we've done in terms of winning our democracy, right? To come out and open it threatening on live video, the way I heard Francis Saklia Yumale spoke in Foya City is quite unfortunate. I will also push, because we did this. I can recall on Balance XT feed some time ago, the former deputy EPS boss was also involved into some altercation with a female. And that evening, there was just the evening I met with President Salim when the news broke up. And the president said she was never going to accept those kind of things. And he was on his way when the president dismissed him with immediate effect. So with the kind of a statement, I think I would detest that seriously. It is counterproductive. It is undemocratic. It is just brilliant, because this is a country that went through kind of a terrible civil process. To see individual that will be sending those kind of open threats, terroristic threats on the individual. You don't have the court. Only the court can discipline in our country. The rule of law, the laws of our country. Any attempt, that's what the Constitution said, an attempt to abrogate the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia is tantamount to undermining the state of the nation. So I think the statement is completely out of order, and we should call on the senators or the president to delist him. I think it's a time that they withdraw his nomination and the rest of it, so that we move through the system. Mr. Bouaka is a very peaceful man. He's a man that, through his track record of 40 plus years in politics, he's never been in kind of violent line. So I would think the president should withdraw said nomination to protect the democratic credential that he pushed forward, that he tried to promote, and the rest of that. Yes, I will rest here because we have a lot of folks on the show. But again, it's important that we amplify this time to time, that his nomination be withdrawn.
Tommy, you muted.
Yeah, that bring in who's that? That's Grace coming.
No, let me.
Ben Rush, come out quick.
But let me say that I wanted to take a small break, but then I'll come out. I don't want to lose my thought on this. Like I said, I support the president right to a point, but I also believe that those he are appointing shares his values. Those who he are putting in his government shares his values, shares his thought process, and those are the people, and these are the people he will be depending on to advance his agenda that he campaigned on to rescue Liberia. President Joe Bouaka has seen that video. It is shameful. It is disgraceful. It is wrong that he will appoint such a character to such a powerful position. the Ministry of Internal Affairs, he spoke of the Ministry of Internal Affairs in his State of the Nation address. His plan is to transition the Ministry of Internal Affairs to the Ministry of Local Government. That is a powerful position. Only in Liberia, the Minister of Internal Affairs can get, people just think the Minister of Internal Affairs is just somebody who running around behind chiefs, elders, and zones. In other countries, the Minister of Internal Affairs also shares the security portfolio of the country.
Yeah.
That's how powerful that job is.
Yeah.
Let's even leapfrog. And I hear everybody saying Dillon. Let me talk about, let's say for Dillon, this is not Dillon's committee. Maybe he's a member of the committee. But the ironic thing here is that committee is chaired by Prince Johnson. That committee is chaired by Senator Prince Johnson.
Sorry, Ben, just 2 seconds. The Defense Committee was never Dillon committee then, but he was all over the place on this.
Oh, I agree. Okay, so I agree with you on that.
Yes.
I agree with you on that. Okay, let me take that back. So let me say this, and I agree with you. I expect Dillon and the progressive senators, who I consider maybe progressive senators in the Senate, should first of all issue a strongly worded statement calling on the president to withdraw this nomination. It is wrong. Like Keff said, it is rubbing salt in the wounds of what happened to those people in Lofa. Humanly is not qualified to be, maybe the president can make him advisor on internal affairs in his office. He can do that. That's his prerogative. But for someone to head the Ministry of Internal Affairs and it's on tape, look, that is why when you're a public official, you be careful the words that you utter out of your mouth. You can't say, oh, because I was upset. There are consequences for the things you say when you are an elected official or you're somebody who is aspiring to hold a public office in the country. In any serious democracy or any serious country, Francis humanly would not even be nominated to be a deputy minister or assistant minister. That video alone disqualifies him. He can be an advisor to the president. I know he's very close to the president, but I think it's totally reprehensible for the president to have appointed him. And I'm calling on the Liberian Senate to do its job, because the Constitution says the president appoints with the advice and consent of the Liberian Senate. The Liberian Senate now has a responsibility, and just how they are drilling and grilling Sarah Besloyanti, we look forward to them doing this with Francis Humanly if the president does not withdraw this nomination. But I agree with everybody. I share the thoughts of what Keff just said. It is wrong. Francis Humanly has no place whatsoever to be on the cabinet for a government headed by a man who is purported to be a peaceful man, who is supposed to be the wisest politician according to his supporters in the campaign. Like I said, there's no need to send this video to the vice president or to the president. They have seen it. It's been out there. And I think it's totally wrong for him to have appointed Francis Humanly. I just wanted to rest on that and then give everybody else to come in. Thank you.
Yes, Grace can come in.
Well, as we see nowadays, especially with this whole black guy presidency, it's like we're going back into where we came from. You know, and I see people try to complain now, oh, you know, it's a different day. This is not a different day. These things happened in the last government, where people were seeing the streets, you know, protesting for jobs, and because they supported the party and the party have won. When you support a party and you're in a campaign, it doesn't guarantee you a job within that government if that party win the campaign. And this is so wrong. And I saw that, I'm not even talking about Francis or what he did, because it was totally wrong. But we're going back to Sarah Besloyanti, if you don't qualify for a job, because if we're not going to be biased here. If you will talk about Francis, then we have to talk about Sarah as well, because I know most of you on the platform, you'll support her. But if you qualify for a job, right?
How you know everybody is support her?
Because most of the time when we talking here, Tomalin number one, he supports her, and then other people said that they think they should give her the chance. So majority of you people on the platform support her. But if you qualify for a job, and you're going for an interview, you don't need a cheering squad to take you. That a confirmation is like a job interview. The people are going to talk to you, and you're going to respond to them, and they will determine later on whether.
Madam, did she take a cheering squad?
Yeah, she did. You did not see the video?
No, sometimes they saw it back home in the country, saw it in a few seconds. It's not about those appointees, right? They are exuberant supporters that just move in to support.
It's not orchestrated or
Yeah, but we
carried
don't
by,
want
by
what
someone
I'm
else.
saying, Mr. Pee-wee.
Mhm.
Liberia was never that way. If you are appointed in a position, the person that appoint you, you go by yourself and you sit there, or one or two people accompany you. You don't get it. Happened Kemenya
Yes.
time.
Mhm.
They did the same thing and they forced the people into, or confirming Kemenya, and Kemenya could not deliver for the country because he had all these things behind him. There is a story out there, and people are authenticating information that this woman have a little discrepancy on her resume, and there was some lies told they told and everything. Personally, as a female, if that come out on my information and I'm appointed to a position, I will remove myself. I will reject the position until I can go into go and clarify my name in any way for the country to move forward. That's love for country. But if all this rigmarole going on and they now make our country like we in a wartime, then what we vote Joseph Walker into power to change these things? We complain about CDC government and they were doing these things. They were wearing barrier. They were carrying up back to the war. This Joseph Walker is proceeding wrong. The government is proceeding wrongly right now. People going to his house to protest because they were on his campaign for that for him and he never getting jobs. The president is looking for competent and qualified and competent people. That's what he said he was going to do. He is a wise man. Here, people claim that, and they pride themselves in the claim that he's a wise man. So they believe in him. So if they believe in him since he's wise, why in the world are they even protesting when he appoint people? Even if you didn't know, a lot of people on our list, I sent some news to Tomalin. They were never seen campaigning for this man. They never came on Facebook to say anything about him. They never wore t-shirt. Their names are there in very reputable positions. He knows what he's doing. If you trust his judgment, why don't you just stick to his plan and what he's doing? When he sent these people, they go to be or confirm, let the Senate grill them and dismiss the appointment or confirm them. But the power then people carrying cheering squad now and going to the Capitol and making the Senate, they intimidating our senators. That's what they're doing. It's not fair to the senators. How are the people going to do their jobs when they are intimidated by crowds that going to the Capitol, whatever they do the confirmation, and sitting down in their seats and beating drum outside? We are in a civilized nation, my people. Where have Liberia gone to? Are you people watching this thing? Are you people watching? And I will continue to say the foreign minister position is an ambassadorial position. For you to be in an ambassadorial position, for them to call you ambassador, another thing you'll be doing on Facebook, yeah, ambassador this, ambassador that. When the people put that title on you, it means that you have credentials and you have the experience. If you have the experience and the experience is not aligned with the experience that's supposed to carry that weight, and you don't have the credential to back it, you cannot be in that position. We don't want a foreign minister anymore that will not be able to deliver for Liberia. Can't come to, when they meet world leaders, they can't even perform. Other people, something about Liberian people. Soon they say the person was working with United Nations. Oh, yeah, the person was working with United Nations. Look, we don't care. You know how many people, Liberians that work with United Nations, that you are not yet a near? It doesn't give you the credibility. It doesn't give you the credential and the qualification to become our foreign minister. It's not an easy position there. So that's what we are saying. For instance, they hip hop because now the other lady had done her part. And people going to the president place to demonstrate and think for position. This is really sad, though. It's a sad that this government is proceeding wrong, and if they don't take time, they will be even worse than we are government. It might probably fail. And we are afraid of that because we love our country and we want Joseph Walker to succeed. Although we were not on his team, but we still want him to succeed. Because when he succeeds, Liberia succeed. Thank you.
Yeah, so Tommy, I'm not sure if I can chime in just quickly here. Great points, Grace, and I think
let give Professor Kennedy since he
yeah, he just came on. You can go ahead now, somebody.
Yeah. But where's that video for Tape?
I have it. I have it.
Okay. I think he just tuned in to watch the show, so I want him to while he watching the show to see what we're talking about. We're not hiding nothing, so.
But yeah, why? I mean, he's an audience. He's a member of the audience. Let him watch, and Mr.
Right.
Larry, when it gets to that time, he will.
So Larry can come in. So he want to come in calling. He will call him, but that's
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, folks. So glad to be on the platform again. So there are a couple of things happening in Liberia. I think in the president's State of the Nation address, he mentioned that the government has around 70,000 or so employees. And when you don't have a private sector, everybody kind of feel that they need to get a job in government in order to make a living. And that is the reason why you have a lot of this underlying fighting, people fighting for jobs, people taking cheering squad to confirmation hearing. And people are doing all of this other nonsense because we don't have a true private sector in the country. There are people who were once in the executive branch. They have somehow managed to wiggle themselves, now they're in the legislative branch. People who were once in the legislative branch will wiggle themselves now to kind of join boycott on the executive side. They all seem to be sort of shuffling between different branches of the government because there's no private sector has been developed. And when you see someone on video, knowing they're being recorded, not somebody has some hidden camera or something, on video, and they start making several threatening statements, what they're doing is, in fact, they are revealing some underlying issues within themselves, right? You don't need drug tests in Liberia. You need to give some of these people some mental fitness test because it will reveal that some of these people have some mental issues. You don't go out there and make some of these wild assertions and stuff. Forget the drug test. Forget some of the other tests you're talking about. Give some of these people mental tests so you can know if they fit for the positions they're looking to sit in. You can have somebody going out there in the public space or going out there meeting foreign dignitaries, somebody piss them off and then they blow up. You can't have that. So this is a test again of the president's leadership. Way before this whole the second round and he being declared a winner, he should have been doing a background assessment of the people he wants to bring in his government, maybe 2 to 3 people for each position, and then start vetting those people because now they're spending so much time on this whole appointment thing. You're discovering people have some baggage. They come in with baggage and issues with them. You're hearing different. It's so ridiculous because by the time you're done with the confirmation, then you have to go now into, okay, people taking over the different sectors. Now they have to figure out what they need to do. So by the time you turn around, 1 year is gone, poof. Then you only have 5 or 4 years, in fact, to make an impact. Otherwise, the people will start, in fact, you have 1 more year, the people will start getting angry. Where is this whole thing, the whole rescue you talked about? You need to get this thing settled down as quickly as possible and move on. Don't put people up there to be appointed when they have all this baggage with them. People who need mental tests, go and definitely check them out. Give them a mental test. And when something surfaces, right? Something surfaces that this person did this and that, immediately step up and say, look, I'm removing this person's name from nomination so people can know that you have the leadership. That's what's supposed to happen. Don't wait for anything. Anyone who is afraid of Martin Coley doing an academic background check on you, you have an issue. If you have the academic credentials, you have nothing to worry about. It's like somebody saying, we're going to place a camera in a public space. And you're saying, oh, somebody's spying on me. If you're not stealing, committing a crime or anything, you got nothing to worry about. Why worried about Martin Coley doing a background check on your academic credentials when, in fact, you do have good qualified academic, or you do have credentials that are not fraudulent? I would not be afraid of Martin Coley if he checks my academic background. Why? Because I know it's not fraudulent. So people then attacking Martin Coley, you're attacking the wrong person. If you are here in the States, they would do the same thing to you. When I got a job with a IT defense contractor, I just put a wrong date. Not to say I didn't graduate. I have a bunch of degrees, that's for sure. But because I put, rather than put the right month, I missed it by one. I had to write a detailed letter explaining why I missed the date. I just told them it was just an oversight on my part. But they had all of my credentials, all of my diplomas from associate, bachelor's, master, all the way up, credentials up the wazoo. So people shouldn't be afraid of Martin Coley,
So Larry, let me just chime in here quickly. That would have been to obtain your security clearance in that process. Thank you. Because again, I had to go through the same process with obtaining my security clearance when I work with But anyway, I think I'll speak to that. Let me just take a note here. But
no, I saw the video. It was just alarming. And, I thought, it was something that the president should step up right away and just take some action and move on. He's getting too hung up on this nomination thing. People fighting for too many government jobs. It's ridiculous.
Look,
I know.
Look,
And
I
this is
think
internal affairs, right?
okay.
The Prince Johnson heading a ex-rebel leader. And then now this
And
friend
it's
said,
not
man,
just
people say we
that.
fought the war with that kind of threat. It's
So,
just too much for our country. It's too much.
Go ahead, that
look,
Peabody. Now,
let me speak to that credential thing.
Mhm.
Don't we have a department in the government that deal with credentialing, where folks you are appointing, you can have them sign a couple of papers, even go through the embassy here, and the embassy here can go to the university after they have signed that and get their credentials and things to show that these people actually graduated, or to show that this school is actually a school that exists and stuff like that. I don't know why should people be wasting time on this thing. Secondly, I don't know. People should be listening to Martin Cully, but equally so, those appointed to government, and if you come and say that you have a degree, you graduate from the university, then you got to live up to it. You really got to answer a question about this university and all of that. You got to live up to it, but we cannot continuously do this. I mean, I didn't think Martin Cully just found a university and try to put this lady in. She had it on her LinkedIn page, and Martin Cully went there and took it out and tried to check whether this university is it. I don't think any university will give Martin Cully anybody record here and say, "Oh, this person." No, they're not going to do that. If you didn't authorize them to do it, they're not going to do that. Nobody's going to provide that information. So I think that the fact
So
that
Doc, let me say something of that real quick. So two things, right? Martin Corley has a registered company on the ground. He's not just doing this all willy-nilly. Just here in the States, a lot of the federal government agencies and private companies, they don't use like some government entity. They use private companies. So he has his own little business enterprise going. It's private. But he won't necessarily need to kind of go directly to the registrar's office at the college. He can just look at the graduation list from a particular year, and he would see the person's name on it. So that's one way to tell if the person did graduate. Right. Then he does his little thing. But again, I would say this: and I know Robert is not a big fan of Martin Coley, so I'm glad he's here so he can chime in. But I would say this: if you have legit credentials, whether it's Martin Coley, whether it's John Doe, James Brown, I don't care. The person can do all the little background checks they want to do. Your credentials will come out scot-free. It will come out clean and clear and legitimate. Exactly. But if for whatever reason you think there's something sketchy about your credentials, then you start putting smoke bomb up to try to kind of shield it, and it looks even more obvious that you're hiding something. So people who have legit credentials, they have nothing to fear. Why would I be afraid of Martin Corley if you want to go check whether I graduated from college or not? I have a legit credential. Yeah, but that you're a diploma. Exactly.
Right.
Dr.
We got a senator, a current senator in Monrovia. Let me finish my talk. We got a current senator sitting in Monrovia, Jonathan Bocha Sibley. He was appointed to a position by President Ellen Johnson Lee.
Yeah, assistant minister of youth and sports.
Yeah. Okay. One of the reasons he did not get that job is because he lied about the community college that he attended in Providence, Rhode Island. I believe the college did not exist and all that. He lied about it. Yeah, so he did not get that.
Community college.
Yeah, somebody was able to get. So I don't see why people are making issue. It's somebody like Larry said. If you graduated from a university, they have the clearinghouse. When I'm getting my transcript here at the National Clearinghouse, I pay a couple of dollars and get it and send it to my employer. In fact, they request it and add them the middle of the day.
Take a few hours. Exactly.
Yeah. So let's go by that. Let's get this thing over. The latest coming to defend her degree.
That the Peabody question.
They're trying to distract the whole process by bringing the cheering squad and people dancing and all that.
Yeah.
Professor Kennedy, I think where we are getting the entire water muddy here is the fact that we want to compare this young man's institution to that of reputable institutions in the United States. This is a young man. Get an Observer, put up the article, accused of being a part of pay to play. This is a man who was accused by a very reputable news agency in Liberia for getting involved in pay to play. Secondly, this issue of Nyenwolo or whatever his name is, to that of this lady we're talking about, apple to oranges. We cannot compare the two. Okay, I am totally in support of validating or being able to verify anybody's academic credential, but let it be done by a reputable institution.
So let me ask you this question.
What we say is that the man put out the red flag. The government needs to check it.
That's why I sat silently and listened to you, right? What we should not do here is encourage these bad behaviors from that one individual who has also been accused of being involved in something fraudulent as well. Because if you do pay to play and accuse people falsely of being involved with such thing, you're just not as reputable as the person who is also exhibiting the same behavior. You're no different from that person. So why should we entrust you to even red flag such a thing? Maybe what we should do in the best interest of Liberia is to push for the idea of establishing a reputable committee, independent bodies that will conduct this investigation. And even if we have to establish one, okay, through a government agency and have them accredited to some extent to conduct this background investigation and provide their finding to those senators that will go to the confirmation hearing. But when we have these articles that are out there claiming this young man is involved in pay to play, when this young man who actually claimed to have been a student.
You said it before. Let me just say something real quick. It sounds like, you shouldn't listen to the jailhouse snitch because he's already in prison, even though he has information on the crime that was committed. But let me say something to you real quick. Let me say something real quick. One of the largest nonprofit organization, international nonprofit organization in Liberia is called FHI 360, Family Health International. That organization, before they changed their name to FHI 360, they were pulling over 100 million a year in government grants in Afghanistan. The U.S. government was spending about 100 billion a day in Afghanistan. These guys were heavily involved in pay to play. Someone snitched on them, right? There was a whistleblower who snitched on them. President Obama got angry with them and he banned them from government contracts. What did they do? They rebranded themselves and came back out as something called Family Health International. And today, they're one of the largest NGO in the world and doing business in Liberia. So,
key point, Professor Kennedy. Key point. They had to rebrand themselves.
They're the same people. So if you change this name from Mighty Police to Mighty
No. What's going to happen here is, again, we will verify those who are part of the process. But the article is still out there. Okay, this man is yet to provide. These things cannot be ignored. Here's let me just get on this.
Right? You're not going to listen to the jailhouse snitch. You're not going to listen to the jailhouse snitch to suffer to solve a crime simply because he's in prison.
No. That is not what it is. We cannot sit here and say based on this individual decision, the president should pull back the nomination or this woman should not sit in.
That's not what he's asking for. He simply said, let's take a second look. He's not asking for that. He's saying, let's take a second look.
Let me just land. Let me land. So we don't go back and forth. Please, let me
guys.
Let me just land so we can move on. And
before we go to that, go back to this issue of the
go back to this normally thing. Yeah,
Tap it. Then we can talk about the appointment last minute. But just finish.
Okay. But I'll go back to. I
got a chance to talk because time.
Exactly. So going back to Tomalin, this man threatened the life of a Liberian. All right, he actually threatened to take his life away, and he's been nominated to serve in that position that he's actually been. I don't think it's a good thing. I think Honorable Boycott, in this case, this is where you would think that he would use his rational judgment and wisdom to have him pulled back. Because from that video, what we saw here, I think every Liberian, meaningful Liberian, should stand against his nomination and have it withdrawn.
Yeah.
That's true. So where's the video about Luther Tapper? Can you guys play it?
Yeah, we have it on here. Let's. I guess somebody else can come in right now while I try to cue. It was queued in, but if somebody remove it.
But I was trying to look at this process about the noise about this issue. Now, before the reason why you see probably Martin took the time to move in the country is obvious. There's a lot of Liberians coming from outside of Liberia, coming into the country with fake credentials. On the most serious note,
going to different sectors of the Liberian government. Lot of individuals. On the serious note, and so so for me, I'm not saying I don't believe what he says. I think it's a very good venture to start some of the process to clean up and weed these people out of the system. And I wouldn't also bother if Martin were to say, hey, he's going to launch a credentialed search on Sylvester Peabody. All of the institutions I went to, both in Liberia, University of Liberia, and back here in the US, you can come and check. I will be very clear with that. But again, those universities wouldn't also really openly give the record, or you have to go check on the general website, because if you didn't get in your acquiescence, I don't think they will move to do that. But it's important because our system was seriously polluted with individuals with fake credentials all over the place, parading on the gas of having this credential, particularly from the US, from the UK, from other countries in the world. And that's quite unfortunate. We need to earn our degree. We should give people jobs on the basis of merit. And that's one of the issues we always projected. It is important that we collectively move to protect the interest of the country. That's one of the things. But I think part of the code of conduct, I don't know if we'll push some of the responsibility. We've been asked before, I advocated for us to establish this ethics commission for the process of governance. The ethics commission will now set the basics as to how we can collectively move to project some of those things. It's important that we do that. Other than that, and there will time to time be a problem. There will always be a problem.
Okay, yes, the tip of the chairman of the ruling Unity Party, Reverend Luther Tapper. In fact, we have done our due diligence. We have invited him. I sent him this show live, and he acknowledged to receive it. So I'm sure he's watching. So, and we asked him we'll give him opportunity to comment if you want to respond. He's welcome to respond. He's welcome to call the show. So we're not doing something that's come with all his, that we're just doing it, giving him no opportunity to respond. But Liberians I told him, Liberians are calling for him to be removed as chairman of the party. Some UP, and also the president should not consider him for any appointment, whatever the case. But it's a prerogative of the president to decide what he wants to do. I even heard today that President Boga is not happy with this video. So, but let's play the video and maybe we can give our thoughts on it.
I want to say to you, the president has the power to appoint. This is constitutional right. You as a citizen, you have a right to express how you feel. So, what I would say to you, even if you want to exercise the democratic rights, to express to him how you feel, you're welcome to go and express how you feel. Don't do it in a violent way. He's the president of the republic. We put him there. All of us are right here, pay the price, and Joe Biden to become president. Yo, when you tell you not have people wake up, Zayo. People wake up, Zayo. And so I would say to you this morning, don't worry about me, I'm okay. I'm pretty fine. But we are not fine. But if you are not fine, I would say to you, go express yourself. We are not satisfied. Go to the president. The hope of the ordinary people depends on you. We are not satisfied. Nobody thought that Unity Party was going to win this election. Ordinary people like you took on the challenge. Oh yeah. Your community, some of you were threatened. Oh yeah. Bamboo conduct.
See, I want to this.
I lost my house. I nearly lost my family. Yes. But the same JMP presidency. Yes. Finally become president.
Where?
We will want him to succeed. It's too early. I know how you feel, but it is also your right to go there and tell him how you feel. Do it peacefully. He's the president of the republic. Must be accorded the respect that is due him. Don't worry about me. I'm okay.
Whoa! But I'm gonna take care of.
If he will change his mind for any service, we are here. But let GMB and any Liberian leader be reminded that it's no longer going to be business as usual.
No way! Thank you.
When the people put you there, you got to listen to them.
Yes.
So go and express your feeling, how you feel about this and what's going on. He's a wise man. He's a man who listens.
Yeah.
I don't think he will see you at your gate and ask the soldiers to beat you. You are the bosses. From GMB to everybody, we wait for you. Sure. We wait for you. So if you're not happy about anything, you got to express it. Going forward, let Liberian leaders know that the main bosses are the people. And when the people are not happy, the leader will not go well.
Yes.
That's
what play we pass.
For the rescue mission, Benny.
That's what play we pass.
For our own chairman, Benny.
That's what play we pass.
So I want to say to you, go there. You must demand you want to see the president.
Okay. Yes.
Sure. When it was time for the campaign,
Yes.
he came to you and said, "You're making president, you will see what I will do."
For sure.
And you gave him the mandate. Go there and demand you want to see him. I am very sure he's going to listen to you.
Yeah.
Don't be violent. We made the president. He will listen to us.
Okay.
Go in peace. When I'm needed, I will come and speak. Thank you. We are calling all the other people who brought about this revolution for your upliftment. And no human being, born or woman, will hijack this revolution. You make it for their family. Most of you are not even in this for yourself. Your children you did it for. And it's too early for people who did not even witness what happened.
Nothing.
There was a day when we were in the people water. And I know the president will listen to you.
I'm sorry, thank you, Baba.
At this point, where you are and what you've done for this country, you got to become president. Yo.
I think that's it, guys.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So if
let me okay, that's the chairman of the ruling Unity Party, Reverend Luther Tapper, speaking this morning. I think at the house residence, outside the residence of President Boyka, and in that video, as we all witnessed, you can tell,
outside his residence. Outside
his residence.
Yeah,
you can tell that he's not happy.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, prior to this, the issue about the $365,000 that was given, he's already on an investigation for it, and I think he's been audited for it. I don't know yet, and because of that, but from their own sources, he was actually promised the position of MD for MPA. 3 persons promised that position: Stephen Jefferson Jr., Robert Pade, and then the chairman of the party. And then yesterday, I think what brought this to this morning, when they finally saw that an unknown guy who nobody saw in a rescue team, but he was the guy behind giving some money to the party behind the scene. He just popped up and became the MD, Sekou Dukle, and from the States here, he became the MD, appointed MD for that's very lucrative position in Liberia. The PA.
I like that.
As a result, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. But now I beg you guys, let's all be moderate with the time. Everybody get 2 minutes to discuss on this issue so that we all can change to it.
Who's the timekeeper? Lofa, who's the time?
Yeah, let me say this here.
Great
topic.
Let me learn how to do.
Yeah.
So let us take our time and 2 minutes to discuss it. And in the meantime, I just got a message for the Liberian people from John S. Molu. I will say at the end of the show about his president's position on the rescue train. So John S. Molu I will give his message at the end of the show.
Is it disgruntled now?
You Mr. Molu spokesman now?
Is it disgruntled now? Is it getting disgruntled?
Well, let's do 2 minutes.
Go ahead,
you want to set the timer now. That's good. Let's go. So listen. First and foremost, let's come to this thing of credentials. I said on the show, I'll continue to say, there's nothing wrong with holding people accountable. And I think we should be able to call those issues in society. What the problem is that when we start weaponizing those institutions for political gimmicks, that's where it becomes a serious issue, right? In this case, there's pay to play, right? In this particular case, it is obvious. There are people behind the scenes who have orchestrated the takedown of this lady. It is evident, right? And the individual who's pushing this agenda will have no problem with, and I will say this again, he has every right to question anybody's credentials, right? But a major newspaper and several other individuals have questioned some of the things that are being done using that particular platform. It is not something we can look. We can't water down the process. We can't say it's the same thing I spoke about earlier when I said hypocrisy. We can't be demanding that people come with the qualifications, right? And then at the same time, we go on the back end and we say, you know what? Let's go ahead and push our friends who don't have the qualifications. But I think, though, a national body should be established. Yes, we should have people like that in our society to listen to, but we should be mindful of how those particular entities or those courses are being used by individuals who have their own political game. Now, the Luther Tapper situation. Look, you see, in Liberian politics, there's this whole obsession with the militants. I am a living witness, and I've been victimized by the same issues. These young men have no skills. These young men sit around these political party structures. They're easily influenced by individuals who have their own ulterior motive, and they're weaponized against each other. I nearly got hurt, stabbed, and possibly killed in Liberia because of this same foolish style of politics, right? What Luther Tapper is doing is something intentional. Luther Tapper knew exactly what he was doing. He was inciting those people, but he was playing with words and pretending as if he didn't want anything. No, he wants noise out of it. He sees these young people are desperate. He sees these young people are vulnerable. He sees it as an opportunity because this is a man that expected a lot more than what he sees happening in terms of his own position. So what is
Duke, thank you. Time.
And weaponize them. Right?
Thank you.
So, thank you, Lofa.
Thank you. Sorry, guys. I was saying thank you, but my mic was muted, so it's not like I intended to give Duke extra time. So I was trying to call his attention to that. Tomalin, back to you. Please, somebody.
Grace, coming.
Look, fake academy credentials is fraudulent. I will stick on that. Martin Cody did his thing, CDC time. The people lift a hand up. They see UP people, they were behind him. A lot of people did not get jobs when it came to that, when he was doing it. And he did right because most of them, what he dug out about them was true. They lie on their credentials. So that's fraud. And we are moving forward from there. I will stick on my word. I stick with it. When you have the credentials, you come with the integrity, your credentials, your experience, your competency, and your integrity. You come with that, the people will put you in a position. You don't need cheering squad to carry you anywhere. Period. Moving forward. That's why I love Dr. Clarence Kweye Moniba. Moniba said it to his team. If I win elections like I be president, I will form a human resources employment relations committee. They will be vetting people and employing them. And this is how they will do it. The reason you see 3 people were offered that job, they promised 3 people. Those 3 people, they go and take the test. Y'all take a test. The people grade you on the test. They make sure the test is open and the test, they grade you. They show you exactly what you went wrong. The person who the 2 people who hire up on the test or 3 people, they interview them. After they go through 1 or 2 interviews, the best person get a job. Easy as that. And what Luther Tapper did was just it's just so sad to watch these things happening like we're in this day and age, we're in the 21st century. Hey man, why you're taking us back to the dark days? You inciting people right in front of he was in front of the president's house?
No, in front of his house.
You in front of your house, you gathering no boys then. The country already 85% of the country that you most of them ain't got nothing to do. Then they come to you now, you get a small $10 your father, then you start inciting them to go and bring problem to our country. You told you trusted Joseph Wagao. You told the Liberian you trusted him. The Papa is a wise old man. The Liberian choose the Papa. We all accept it, although that was not our choice. We say, okay, we'll get a Papa chance to lead. He will hire the people that he feel that he should hire. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peabody.
Look, man, I don't know. A whole country don't have a department that can really check people's credentials. That's nonsense. That's sick. You know, we always making the mistake. We're appointing people. I mean, we've seen other governments where people were appointed not on a meritorious basis. They were just appointed because they sang the song and put on the hat and put on the T-shirt and they were given positions. So we saw it in previous government where a lot of people and they couldn't deliver because they were not qualified and they couldn't represent the country well. And we see this. I think what need to happen. I mean, I have no doubt about Mrs. Yanti. I think she's a astute servant. She worked with the UN all through, But when it comes to the credential, I mean, it's what you put out there, and then what people going to evaluate you by, no. So I think the Senate need to do that due diligence and see if she's qualified or not, or and they need to do the due diligence. They're going to confirm her or don't confirm her. They are the one that hold that. But concerning Chimatapa, I think Chimatapa is just a few disenchanted, because he was not given that position, and he felt that he fought for that party, and he wanted a position set. But money. Everybody want to go in some of the position. It won't be too long. In the next 2 or 3 months, 4 months, you will hear people stealing money. Some of them are rushing into this area because that's where they want to go and get rich and steal. That's what they want to do. So we hear one day we said Peabody said it, that those folks were sitting there again. They coming on the story taking money and stuff like that. So I think Chairman Luther felt that he was left out, and maybe he did not have a means of communicating with the president. That's why people would do that. If you're calling, they're not picking on your phone. You're making effort to reach him, and nothing happened. You have to find a way to create attention. But one thing he said, I think we must give him the credit. He said they must be very peaceful. He didn't say go demonstrate and disturb. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kev. Meanwhile, I heard that our friend. I hope that news is true. He'll be going. I heard that he's tipped to go to LPR as one of the deputy to Amos Tour, our friend George Lobo. I pray that he gets that job. But Kev, let's hear from Kev quickly, please.
Well,
you hear what you said? You said?
I heard that one of our friend, our brother, George Lobo.
Yeah, I'm as deputy for administration.
So I pray he gets that job. He worked hard for this.
Oh,
Kev, let's go ahead, Kev.
What's the requirement?
But it could be something. It could be something bigger than that, though.
No, nothing will come bigger than that now.
Could be.
Yeah, closing.
Okay. Let me say this. I think Madam Sarah should be confirmed. She will be confirmed. I think that's end of this story. So, for me, I don't see them going after her. And they held a woman for years. Now they're going after her. And she will be confirmed. And that's all, by what we getting from the back, she will be confirmed. So, and people should just get used to that. That's the Liberian new foreign minister then. But let me say this: in the case of Reverend and Luther, the Unity Party, the first or second year of George Weah presidency, we took children, put them on the streets while the convoy were coming. They took that, and we condemned that. I also will condemn Reverend Luther for taking people to JMB home. Folks say he said, "Oh, I go peacefully." No, basically he's telling them go and bring down JMB home because I need a job. I had the opportunity to interact with Reverend Luther so many times on my former network, who asked them this question. They say that they don't want a job. They're doing it for the love of country. They love the country. They don't want a job. So by sending somebody there, folks there for jobs, because definitely that job, he's sending them. You say, "I'll go demonstrate because I want a job."
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
Mama, I finished it.
2 minutes.
No. My time was no. My time. I'm looking at the time.
Kev,
No,
I have
no,
the timer right here, man.
don't do that.
Everybody else,
No,
Kev,
you
look
don't.
at the time.
No,
2 minutes. Look at the time.
No.
Kev, look. Can you guys see the time?
No. Listen, people were talking while he was running the time. They were eating off my time. No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Finish it. Can 30 seconds now.
30 seconds. Don't do that. So you get me off what I want to say. But let me say this. I will end up with this. What the Union Party plenty of what they used to, that's what coming home to them. What if it was saying the chicken coming home to roost? That's what coming to them. They believe in that stuff. They put children on the streets. And Joe, we are convoy. You saw it. You saw the children. They do that. So the same playbook, they're doing it to JMB. Hey, John Palmer waits on John Rice.
Well, those who recuse, Ben, is it rescue or recuse? Which one? Those who recuse me yesterday will be recused by me with appointment. You must agree, JMB. Recuse or rescue? What are you trying to say there?
It's rescue, I believe.
Rescue or those who rescued me yesterday will be recused by me with an appointment. You must agree, JMB. Wow. But anyway, let's make progress. Let's hear from Chairman Ben. Then we go to Professor Larry, and then we Robert. Then we go back.
Well, I think my position on Luther Tappe has been stated clearly. I think Luther Tappe is disgraceful what he did. I think, like I said, he's not an ordinary person. I can understand if this was just a regular partisan who decided that they would just jump up and go to the president's house. But as chairman of the party, he is the custodian of this government. He should have access to the president. If he doesn't have access to the president, hey, that's his business. I don't know how their party run, but it is disgraceful. And this notion that he must serve in this government, there's nothing that says that. He could be very influential as national chairman of the party. We saw Cyril Allen when Cyril Allen was national chairman of the MPP. In fact, it was unprecedented that Cyril Allen had access to sitting cabinet meetings when he was chairman of the party, because the party was extremely powerful during the Taylor administration. You saw the same thing under the CDC. Moba Molu was not in the government. In fact, he opted not to go into the government. Yes, there was.
Did the chairman get paid? Did the chairman get paid?
No, definitely not. But what I'm saying is, as national chairman of the party, you literally are the custodian of the government. Your job is to make sure. In fact, Luther Tappe should be fighting for his partisans to get place. Right? He should not be the one putting his name for first running all over the place and calling on the people to listen. I listened to the tip very clearly. If you listen to him, he was very clear what he said. JMB and other Liberian leaders must know now that it is not going to be business as usual. Listen, it's always been that way. So I'm just saying what Luther Tappe needs to do is to help the president. Calm the nerves of his partisans. Because I keep saying over and over, listen, this government is only 2 weeks old. 2 or 3 weeks old? All the jobs are not completed yet. There's still a lot of jobs out there, guys. There's superintendents, there are county commissioners, there are development superintendents, there's spokespersons.
Town chief?
There's spokesperson in the different ministries. The police still has a spokesperson. I mean, I won't give Moses Scott a job off. But there's all these different jobs. What is this notion? What is this notion? No,
but Ben, you had your 2 minutes already.
Story, man. Don't cancel.
But everybody go with 2 minutes. I
was people to have more minutes. They'll say
we all responsible. Y'all just know how we're doing this thing.
Man, but you can't.
20-minute story, 10-minute story. But
Robert, you not saying anything? Robert, sanity is.
Why are we smoking yet?
But I just got on the show, so you're the one who
But let the chairman.
Let me finish my thought, Robert. I mean moderating.
I will protect the chairman because the chairman always let Robert talk now.
Exactly. I was called on. I didn't. I'm jumping. But I just want to end on this note. Again, Luther Tappe should exercise leadership. He should exercise leadership. And today, what he did was totally out of order. I think the president should be totally upset with him. And as a result of that, I don't think he should get appointed. I think he should focus on building his party and making sure that his party stays vibrant. That's what my recommendation to the president would be.
Professor Kennedy.
Nothing happened to Ben.
Chairman losses. His house got burned. His house got burned. The man spent. He spent a lot of money.
But Tomini, why the say anyone be superintendent?
Let me finish. Ben, I beg you. So, Chairman Tabel.
Let
Robert go. Robert being here a while. Let Robert go real quick. Let Robert go.
Let me put a question. Tabel losses. The guy home got burned. Everything. The man who lost his home. He spent a lot of money helping to relocate the party, the headquarters, everything. And then, so people are saying the man should be removed as chairman. The man should be, but I should not consider the man for a job. That my man Ben Sanvee, my gay Stephen Johnson, and Ben Sanvee of county. My man.
I never said I didn't call Stephen Johnson. Don't start with
county. George county.
Yeah,
the town chief. I mean, you guys, by the way, but right here for you.
Yeah, but we can see the love in their eyes, but they make it.
Let me say this, and I think the chairman took the words out of my mouth when he made mention of the chairman of CDC. For 6 years, we never saw this kind of protest for jobs. But I want you to put this in perspective. Think about what has happened, what's going on. Think about how slow the appointments have been, the process. Think about the fact that the president still works from home. Think about the trembles for jobs and all of this noise that's going on. And I want you to look in the mirror and put on your objective hat. Had this been the administration of George Weah and seditions, what would have been the narrative? One of the biggest words that have been used over the past 6 years was unprepared. That George Weah was not fit, and seditions came to power without a single plan. I got to admit, it's great that the president is taking his time, but the pace at which these appointments are being made, and what I do know from firsthand, the kind of in-depth conversations that have still been going on right now as we speak. Had this been George Weah, the narrative we would not be having this conversation right now. Imagine a chairman of a party. I mean, this is supposed to be a reverend. And to Tomalin's point, it doesn't care if his house burned down. We have a judicial system. Why did the house get burned down? I mean, who's responsible? Oh, so the party, he should be rewarded a job because his house got burned down for that? And so it speaks to where we are. Oh, my time over now?
You go.
Yeah, man. So it speaks to where we are as a country and the double standard that our politics presents. All of the folks, all of the folks.
They're putting more minutes on the man time.
No, good Lord.
No, he hasn't spoken though. He has defense.
You see, this is not fair. Don't know. We're on the public radio here. Don't do this, guys.
Robert hasn't.
Text messages. Even Robert himself know. I just interrupted him. I took the time down so I could respond because I kept getting messages.
So you talking that you were sending text messages?
Okay, Robert. Robert, you can have my share of the 2 minutes, and I will not contribute to this section of it because I don't want to seem like I'm trying to cheat. And that is not the truth of God in heaven. That's not what was.
To be honest with you, to be honest, okay. Please don't interrupt me now. So, to be honest, I don't like the time, but the time can confuse you.
But
your whole thought process can be.
I think the time is good. I think the time is good.
But
I think the time is good. In that way, everybody will have a chance to talk. Nobody will be talking for 5 minutes. I think.
You on 3 minutes now. You wasting all the time to talk to Ben.
Thank you. Please. Okay. So it speaks to where we are. But I wanted to contribute to the previous conversation about institutions and Martin Kula. And to the professor's point, I have tremendous respect for Larry. I listen to him to learn. But to his point about, he made an analogy about the guy in jail who might have information on a crime and not listening to him because he's in jail. But Professor Larry will concur that, if anyone who have a record of lying, most of the time, you question whether or not what they're saying is true this time, right? Because they have a record of not actually being truthful. Look, Martin Kula has all right to do what he does, and that's his right. All I'm advocating for is a system in place to either check people like himself, and a system that can actually tell you and I that, what, the information we received is actually valid or is not valid.
Thank
you. And I look forward to Martin Kula actually giving some information on the 7-story building that he has in Liberia, because for a student in Europe, a guy who went out there struggling to be able to construct that kind of stuff, it raises all kinds of red flags. And so when people like that come out and start saying these things, they should practice what they preach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Meanwhile,
I can go now?
Yeah, come in, Professor Larry. Meanwhile, Lofa kind of leads the appointment list. The Mayor Maruva is from Lofa. The Chief of Staff is from Lofa, the Army.
I thought that was Dwalu Ja.
The Internal Affairs Minister,
Dwalu Ao.
from Lofa.
I'm gonna call my brother right after this show.
Bridges from Lofa. Deputy Public Works, Lofa. Minister of Commerce, Destiny, Lofa. LRA, Lofa. Education, Lofa. I think
it's a Lofian show.
I remember when
Lofa development something wrong somewhere.
I remember when the last administration, when Joe we were accused of something. So at least now Lofa is dominating. Look, it's a cycle. But let's hear from Professor.
It will always be the last time with the Southeast now, Lofa, right?
Lofa, ain't developed now, they got problem.
No, we'll develop.
All right, so I'm going to put my 2 minutes to use, because the last thing I need right now is for Lofa to start showing a clock that my time is running out. So I'm going to put my 2 minutes to use real quick. So Robert is real slick, right? He's like the prosecutor. He knows how to find little Swiss cheese holes in your argument. So he's absolutely on point, but I'm not going to go that route. So I would say 3 things real quick. Yeah, I would say 3 things real quick. So Liberia have the attention span of like a microwave. You put something out there, it gets hot, everybody will get all excited, then you wait long enough, it dies down. If I was boycott, I would throw 2,000 names out there at them. It will confuse the hell out of everybody. They will argue, fuss, fight, and then eventually things will simmer down and he can move on. So I would just throw that and just confuse the crap out of everybody. So here's the thing with Top It, right? One of the reasons why you don't have so many young people following all these people then that have a little bit of issues behind them is because these young people do not have jobs. Right at around Ebola happened when Madam Salif was in Rome, and she made that statement. She said, look, the number of young unemployed people in Liberia is a risk and a threat to Liberia's national security. Because you saw what happened with Akara's grade, you saw what happened at the University of Liberia campus. You have so many young people unemployed that they are following people who don't seem to have the requisite ethical background to be able to push them. Why tell this people to go and whether it's protest peacefully or not, but to go and push your agenda at the president. You don't have to do that. Let your credentials stand for itself. Leave things alone. You don't have to do. We have too many young unemployed people in Liberia. This is the reason why this crazy guy from Angola, from UNITAS, Jonas Savimbi, said you can take $10,000 and you can take over a country in Africa because the number of young unemployed people are so many. So this is some of the risk we're seeing. You have to create jobs right away. If you're saying because somebody's house burned down so they deserve an appointment, isn't that the essence of pay to play?
Absolutely.
You may not be seeing it, but it is in essence saying, oh, because he suffered a loss, he deserved to be paid by a job in government. That is the underlying thing of pay to play. So before I get on Lofa's bad list, I would just say that's my point I wanted to make. All right, guys.
Okay, so let me ask.
I haven't gone around.
See, I don't like to find out the professor had to put me to the wall like this, so I'm gonna back off. I don't want to take the time.
I will be very quick to the point. I don't think Lofa will even call me into order. Yes, quickly. The Chairman House did not get burned down. That is we need to check that file. It's misleading. There was a report that came out from the fire service. No, on a serious note, there was some electrical problem. The house was the boss quarter of the home. right? He was speaking from the house behind that. That's his house, right? The boss thought that there was some electrical fault. There was nothing of such. He's trying to incite those boys. Is unfortunate on the most serious note. And I would now move quickly back to our foreign ministry, the issue about this current foreign minister, right? I do believe for me, and when I spoke with her, she said to me, there's this debate about her first degree. And I know what our own sister is coming from. It's also concerning that we need to justify if we went to school and say, hey, this time that we can justify our degree, how we earn it, right? So she's saying that this issue about what they saw on her LinkedIn that she graduated from Cotton University. And when she was in Cotton, I think almost around the June to senior year, the Civil War erupted and everyone left the country so she left. And ever since then, so we need to establish first and foremost, but she says she's prepared to justify and establish to the plenary of the Honorable Liberian Senate that she's competent, qualified for the position. So all of that, but a lot of things coming out also. There's some unconfirmed report also coming out of South Sudan that there was some issue of personal non grata on her via the UN that she leave from the South Sudanese government, all those things. So a lot of people getting a lot of reports out about issue about some accusation she pushed against one of the president candidate about sexual harassment and the rest of that. So a lot of things coming out of the picture, right? But you will have to justify this in the Liberian plenary. And that's why the Constitution, Article 54 of the Liberian Constitution is very clear. The president will nominate and pending confirmation by the Liberian Senate. So Article 54 is going to be in play now. And that's why we look forward to the hearing. Yesterday was quite unfortunate. And you're right, Sis Grace, about what you just said. What happened during Minister Kenyan time was also the same. The entire plenary of the Liberian Senate got disrupted, and folks even went in the seat of senators. It was quite unfortunate, but I think they should now deploy some major security process to avert this kind of unforeseen circumstances. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Meanwhile, while we still discussing, just another sidetrack. Yesterday, the central bank governor, he validated that President Weah was right when he saying he left 40 million consolidated account, and that either President Boga was misled or whatever the case. But
what?
He was maybe he was. I'm saying it. Maybe because the central bank governors were clear that President Weah was on track when he said he left.
So they inserted that in a major speech without verifying?
They are investigating it. There's a committee from this house investigating it. But what I'm trying to say is that when President Weah left office, when he took office 2018, he considered the account has $7 million there. He left 40 million plus. And then our foreign reserve had 94 million. He left $222.7 million there. So President Weah was on track, but someone tried to make him look bad, but he did what he left money there. And now people are concerned what else civil servant will take pay. The money just ended, and they see what will happen. But the money was enough money was left for them to take pay. Hopefully they take their pay, and also so forth. But guys, quickly, but on a serious note, let's be honest, let's be frank, guys. Those who politics is interest, we shouldn't get it wrong. Politics is interest. When you into politics, you want to get reward to serve your country. Okay, say what you want to say, and you think President Boakai should be considerate to the rescue train? Because on a serious note, you all know the role that Mandela Cooper played. She was there. You saw Mo Ali, you saw Stephen Johnson, you saw George Lobo, you saw Robert Pade. He's even said, "Is it Uhuru yet?" I don't know what is it. Is it Uhuru yet? Maybe it's not Uhuru yet. We'll find out what is Uhuru yet. But all the role this guy plays, even our friend Dwalu should have been the mayor of Monrovia, but Dwalu is now saying he become a regular panelist now. I think maybe I don't know what he will become the.
No, is something coming for him? Something coming.
What was he saying? Why do you keep? Is it regular panelist? Is it regular panelist now?
He will accept the government on Facebook.
So
no. Something.
So look at our friend and brother Fagon. Fagon play a major role.
Hey, my man, leave Fagon business, man.
Talk about the senator playbook.
We can talk about Lobo, right?
But guys, seriously, right? All these guys play a role. But today, because all the major positions are already gone. Instead of be deputy, assistant minister somewhere.
What do you mean?
No, there's still almost 1,000 positions out there.
Why are we guys? So, guys, let's quickly give out our just perspective on these issues, man. Ben, start with you, Ben.
But what do you mean all the major positions are gone?
Right.
I feel, and Tomalin, I know what you were saying, but I think all of these guys, if their intention is to get placed or to serve in the government, I think they will get accommodated. All of them, there can only be one minister or one director general or one managing director. There can only be one mayor. I remind people, a lot of these people insulted and campaigned hard and said they were doing this thing not because of jobs. They said they was doing this thing because they loved the country. Those who did not support Joe Boyka did not love Liberia. Listen, some of the names you call insulted me. I'm praying that they get something. Because listen, I think service to country, serving in your government, is one of the most noble thing you can do, right? They were under the impression that they were going to come and they were going to go ahead and get some of these things. Like I said, I like to remind people, right? There are tons of jobs out there. There's superintendents out there. There's commissioners out there. Development superintendents. There's spokespersons. Look, there are other agencies. What about the fire service? What about the fire service? Why nobody wants the fire service?
No allotment can go there. Allotment will pay how.
But this is not about allotment, Pee-wee. This is about these guys. And for me, I'm saying, and I'll end on this note, right? Because I don't want to get called for time business. But let me say this, guys. Most of these, some of the people, some people I know that were pontificating, said that they were making hundreds of thousands of dollars in America. Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I have my 2 minutes, Ben. Ben, you can have my 2 minutes.
Thank you, Lofa. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Just for that point. Just for that point.
That's true. What kind of lying is that making money? Yes, and
some of them said they were making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Listen, let me put myself in the shoes. I was supporting George Weah for president, and I told the president to his face, "You guys were all there. I don't know if the Liberian government can afford me. I don't know, right? Because guess what? I have a son in college. I got two. Listen."
Thank you.
Nobody should go to Liberia thinking that you're going there because at the end of the day, you're trying to go and rob the country. If you want to serve the country, some of them who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, they should have a strong 401k. Make the sacrifice for the country. Go in there. Tell the president, Mr. President, I want to go to fire service to revamp fire service. Mr. President, I want to go to this place. Go there. But everybody, for some reason, want to go to maritime, MPA, Social Security. By the way, most of these positions have tenured. And if the government tried to remove some of these people from their tenure position, the government will have to pay these people off heavily. So I will end on this note. I think let us state for the record, a lot of our friends should accept some of these positions, and because they have a lot of ideas, Lofa, right? They have a lot of ideas. They were talking about a lot of these things that they wanted to rescue the country. They should go and use the expertise to come and rebuild and to revitalize some of those dead entities that are in Liberia. That's what I'm advocating for. And just on that note, I support President Joe Boyka. We want him to succeed. You give the old man a chance to form his government. And
let me use my last 30 seconds here to close on this note. I support that point from you that we should not be sitting here and doing commercial for people who volunteer the service. Okay, Tomalin, I don't think you're doing justice to the president. You are actually pressuring this man to do the wrong thing. Give this man a chance to get the job done. This man is full of wisdom, and he would not lead us in the wrong direction. The same way the volunteer the services, they should allow this man to get the job done. Wisdom counts. 40 or more years of service in government, that's not something you can play with. Thank you. Don't push the people. Don't do commercial here.
Look. Sorry to break the rules, but real quick, there you have the way things should be, and then you have the way things are. So Tomalin is saying this is the way it is. I understand what Ben is saying. You put in the sacrifice, you put in the hours, you're going back to Liberia because you want to make the sacrifice, which is great, but that's not the reality of it. People were supporting and doing all this thing on the ground because they felt at the end of the rainbow there was going to be a lucrative job waiting for them.
Thank you.
Sorry to break in.
No, that was a good addition.
Maybe they will put someone on FBIZ board.
Exactly. A lot of the people live in the U.S. They know what volunteerism is.
Yes.
Oh,
you don't volunteer and go request Biden or other people to compel to give you a job and thing. So you go into Liberia and trying to change it. You know, you claim you make 200. I remember one time on the show somebody claimed they're making 200,000.
Yes.
Blah blah blah. And you know, you got.
I'm gonna leave the 200,000 job here to go work for.
I take up my 2 minutes. You don't have to. You know, you make 2, 3. I'm gonna leave 100,000, 300,000, go Liberia to go do what?
And then they're fighting for a government job.
Fighting for a government job, and then somebody been sitting in his area for I don't know how long doing what? Say he won't be sitting Mayor Maria. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that? Bring your butt back. If it's early, you can still come back and do your job. Okay? Bring your butt back. Sit down and come back. Liberia is not a dump out where you can just sit and decide what job you want to go and get because you volunteer for somebody. Liberia is not a dump out.
Guys, breaking news.
Ben, I try to confirm that.
No, that's not what you thinking. Yeah. Breaking news. I just got word that the president is watching this show. So just for the record,
Mr. President,
President Joe Boyka is watching this show as we
hire competent people. President Boyka.
You know,
anybody.
I have to. I got something important to do, so I have to make this go.
All right, I'll take it easy now. I know the president watching the show.
Go ahead.
Respect for a woman.
Not the woman called.
The president is watching us. Hello, Mr. President. The prerequisite to how they call it, I would say campaigning is not a prerequisite to get job in Liberia. It's not. That's why when I joined the team that I joined, the first thing the presidential candidate told us that you must prepare yourself. Some of y'all be running the campaign since 2017. Y'all behind Joe Braga. Y'all were running the team faithfully. Y'all never decided to go to school. So y'all want a maritime position and director position.
LPNC position.
I did not prepare yourself. I show Honorable Baka to your President Baka because he's a wise man, as you say. He told you you never prepare yourself. You sat on the platform, you defend people's character. Like Ben Sanvee, you are calling him he gay, and I know Ben let woman like that. So I don't understand.
Speak for me. Speak for me.
Talking all kinds of things. And they used to call Lofa Julius something. I forgot what they used to call Lofa said. Lofa, what they used to call you?
The 4 Hebrew boys.
Thank you. All kinds of names. Just because they felt that they could do that to people, destroy them, and then the people will see them and then they will put them into power.
Yes.
That is so wrong. We're not going to allow these things to be happening in our country. It's not fair to the rest of the people. President Baga is president for the entire Liberia. He cannot employ everybody for UP party. You need to stop. Most of the people he are putting in place, they have the credentials. I saw some of their names. The people went to school. They did their due diligence. When they got good experiences that they can go to Liberia and serve the nation. And the ones that are there, they worked before they got the credential and the experience, they can serve the country. So when the president is not putting you in the position that you think you're supposed to have, you did it for your country. Let's do it for our country. We come here, we talk because we want Liberia to be better. It's not because when they win, they should give us job. No. Now it would be nice for you to have a job, but if you don't have the job, pack your satoka sakami bahun because some of you will saw you coming. Oh, you're thinking you're going to that job. Now all the cuckoo job finished. Also the pack Jordan left there.
Especially if you've been in and out of job. Every 6 months you get a job, and the next time you have to be on boarding pass to go running around.
Exactly. Some of us here in America, when Barack Obama was running for president, we campaign for this man. We used to go to work, sometimes we cry. The way things were going when we watch CNN news, say, hey, God, we used to be crying. Barack Obama never heard from me before. I never been to the office of the warehouse. I was doing it for country because I thought that when this man come in, he's a black man, he's gonna change things, and then he's gonna change the lives of so many people that a black president can sit and rule America at least for 8 years. And that's what we did. So I just saying that we'll leave our president. He needs to govern our country. Campaign noise is not a governing, how do you call it, footage.
Thank you.
Noise is different. It's time to govern. President Walker needs to govern.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Yumambaga, has appointed Mr. Molipi Kamara
Economic advisor.
advisor to the President. Mr. Kamara joins a team with extensive wealth of experience that is needed in helping to revamp the economy. The appointment takes immediate effect. Well, let's
We
go.
still not hearing. We're still not hearing it.
Tommy, let me go, guys. I have to exit here soon. I've got an important meeting to go to, if I can. We all understand that the economy of our country needs effective policies and people who off the gates will be able to do the things that are necessary to provide some level of flexibility to the economy. And so hopefully this appointment serves in that purpose. But as I stated here earlier, I think the president has shown himself to be very courageous. I like the fact that he's making his own decisions in terms of the hirings of government officials. I don't think he should fold into pressure. It is his right. And so far, with the few that I've had a little bit of concerns about, I think they're doing a great job in putting together a team that he believes that can help this economy. All of us, it is our responsibility to make sure that they're successful, and hopefully the government is. But in the end, I think it was irresponsible on the part of Ludo Tapet. I think it does not, show the example that a man of that magnitude, especially for a major political party, it doesn't serve as something that he should be doing. And I think the Unity Party should consider for the actions against Ludo Tapet at this crucial point when the nation needs true representation. We don't need individual that will continue to stroke some of the same things that we've had over the past that have caused chaos in that country. But overall, in terms of Madam Blesso, I believe, like I said, that the Liberian Senate and those who've been hired by the Liberian people to do the due diligence will have to do all they can to ask the appropriate questions and make sure that some of the people who have these concerns, are satisfied with the final outcome of that appointment. But overall, let's see what this these new core of officials are able to do for the Republic of Liberia. And I hope there's more competent and more qualified young people that can be added to the mix to be able to give the president a level of progress that we need. Overall, I'm thankful. We look forward to having these discussions. I know there'll be more of these. And listening, Ben Sanvee texted me a few minutes ago and said that there's a President Byron Brown should be sent to Grand Bassa County.
You're done, dude. You're done. Get out.
Dude, don't put me in trouble. That's you too.
No back. Are we taking calls?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, let's hear from the people. Yeah,
let's hear. Let me open up the phone lines here.
But I think who remain the top, go to the line.
Larry, what's his name? Robert. Robert.
Yeah, let Robert take us when he will take some calls. Yeah.
Wait now. Someone on the show.
Okay, talk now. Why are you making it sound like?
On the show.
Well, I mean, but Kev,
You wasn't not Kev. That's bad.
No, Robert, go yeah.
Thank you, my brother Kev. So if the president is watching, then Mr. President, I think that like everyone have said, those guys who voted for you, who campaigned for you, did it out of love for country. And so now you are taxed with the responsibility to lead. Campaign is not the same as governance, right? So you are taxed with the responsibility to lead the country. And so but there's this one guy, I'm not going to call his name. I feel very, very bad for him. He might return to the U.S. to an evicted apartment because he's been in Liberia since November. He's been there since November. He's a diehard Unity Party partisan. So, Mr. President, I'm sure that you saw him to your office. You were at the executive mansion today. Please do your due diligence because the other mayor, he cannot return here without a job. But I told someone the last time, and Ben just hit it on the head, right? On a more serious note, I said that I wouldn't take $4,000 to work in our country. And someone said that a true patriot would worry less about the money and more so about the impact that he or she gives. It doesn't make sense to me, right? I think patriotic Liberians should be able, especially professional ones, should be able to make critical decisions in the interest first of their families and second their country, because this is how we breed corruption. Okay, how can you look at a young professional like myself? You want me to take a $40,000 to $50,000 pay cut to go to Liberia when I still got student loans to pay, when I still have a family, I still have unborn children to take care of, right? And you want me to go and work for $3,000. Now you tell me, if there are any brown envelopes that are coming my way, do you think that I will be less enticed to get involved? Or would I be more patriotic? I think professional Liberians should be able to make professional decisions in the interest of their country and their family first. We have our families. A lot of these guys that are going back, like Ben said, if you're making $100,000, some of these guys are 50, 55, 60 years old.
Yeah.
Then you should have a company in Liberia that are training and hiring Liberians at this point. You should have many sources of income. At that point, we'll be able to make the decision to serve our country. And you can give me $500. But people should be able to make professional decisions and honest decisions that will not get them in this whole thing of corruption. So, Mr. President, make these appointments and make them accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Liberia, though?
Yeah, with all the calls from Liberia right now, we'll take the calls here. I'll put them in queue. Let's start from Liberia, and then those here.
Why Henry coming? Let Henry come.
Yeah, let Henry come.
Let go ahead. Take the call over. We got time.
Okay. All right, caller, go ahead. Caller, your name and where you calling from. Let's hear from you.
Hello, Lofa, are you talking to me?
Are you the caller? Are you on the line? Go ahead.
I'm on the line.
Okay, go ahead, caller. Your name and where you calling from.
Yeah, my name is Charles B. Doe, and I call from Michigan.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to, throw light on the party chairman of the party. If you guys can recall, when Fiji won the election in 2017, they were there with my rule. And I don't want people to listen to some of the panelists try to critique Luther Tappet. Luther Tappet is under severe pressure from the partisan. Same thing happened with Molo. It's not easy. It's not easy. He started receiving calls from all over. I'm from TV. I'm a diehard physician. But what Luther Tappet is going through is similar thing happening to Molu.
Caller, get to your point. Get to your point. We got a lot of calls coming through. Please get to your point.
Yeah, after the election, you got hijacked the position. So Luther Tappet is facing the same thing that Molu went through. So you have to stand up for a party.
Thank you. Caller from 177 last four is 2264. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Lofa, this is Alana King. How you guys doing?
Alana King, you got a minute. Let's hear from you. Go ahead. Get to your point.
Yeah, Black Euro have a song called Guess Who Coming to Dinner? In that song, they have a line that says, the food I want to eat to save their life. It's the same food that can take your life if you're not careful by eating it. So the Unity Party used that food. They ate that food to survive. Now it's the same food that's going to take their life if they're not careful. And before I leave, I want to say something. Today, I witnessed something. A friend of mine, she worked in one of the ministry, but for a job, I'm not going to call her name. But those guys, they are going to the ghetto and they are brutalizing those kids to leave the ghetto instead of them coming up with a program to rehabilitate them and treat them like human beings. They are beating them. So I want to let you guys know they are brutalizing those kids in the ghetto. They are going there secretly and beating them.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Atlanta King. Let's check out next caller. Call 609. Last four is 2264. Excuse me, 2214.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is good evening. This is Big Power. I really want to. I give out you guys like I want to say the meaning out of which. No matter your credit start there, all what it did for me, I prefer that when in a government than anybody other person. No matter the person on the start giving the money out to the party or to the campaign team, or those who are on the field, they need to get job. Men John Lobo, men more Ali, those men who credit start there every day. Anytime John Lobo go on a lot, on attacking it. Those men are very attacking them to a lot. It's a time for them to get power to at least do what they want to do.
That is not how people are determined to get a piece of job. It's not based on that.
No, in fact,
Let the man land.
That a man comment.
Let the man comment. Yeah.
Those men they on the street. They're campaigning for a party. They're there for the party. So they need to get a job.
Thank you.
John Lobo like that.
Thank you.
They pay that dues.
Let's check out next caller. 609-0724. Caller, your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Lofa Julius, good evening, my brother, and good evening to all of the panelists. This is Abraham Conner. Great to be here and great show, guys. Listen, Ben Sanvee stated something with regards to people being innovative, and for those that I would remember here that they are making 6 figures and they are not desperate for jobs. But if you are in that position and you think that you can be innovative, I think some of those dormant positions, if they come your way, you should gladly accept it. And I referenced, if you look on the chart, I referenced early on that Emma Glasgow was innovative. That's the reason why the fishery department today is very valuable and lucrative. So is the case with other people that are in the diaspora. They think that they have been left out on jobs, lucrative jobs. They should go home and then help to develop some of those areas. And lastly, with regards to Reverend Tappe's situation, it was unfortunate that he came off the way he came out. You understand? But it's not unique to Reverend Tappe. If you guys, I know Tomalin George can record that, when the NPP came into power, one of the persons that got sidelined in that giving was Evan Holder. Many a time he was listed to be Commerce Minister and he never got that position. And even the NPP partisans, they were completely disenchanted about it until that guy, they gave him a push around, he never got a job. So those things, politics interest, I understand that it's not a pay for play, but people should be given preference on certain situations. Thank you guys.
Thank you. I think that's it. So we got Henry in the back. Henry, you want to take calls? Henry.
He's not at his seat.
Okay. I guess we could get back to the conversation. Henry's not at his seat, so.
Okay, let's wrap up since we're done. But let me ask a question before we wrap up. Guys, Ben, maybe you guys know we've been in government before. It is against the law for a husband and wife to work in the same entity in Liberia. I just got information reliable that the guy who just appointed as Legis boss, Richard Gaffwan, his wife works at Legis, and now he's being appointed director general. So is this against the law for people to work there?
So which role should play in Legis?
Yeah, it depends on the role. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's
so
illegal.
Now, for instance, every institution got their own organigram. According to that, for instance, internally, he cannot be the head and appoint his wife to be director.
Yeah, I don't think he can appoint her.
He didn't. Yeah, she should not be
working there. Yeah, is she already working there? There should be no problem.
Already working there. There's no problem.
No problem.
Okay.
No, she cannot report to him. She cannot. She shouldn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she was not already working there, once she filled an application, she just needed to put in the application that her husband is the boss.
Exactly.
Yeah. But can I do my closing?
Okay, yeah, you can close that.
Yeah, let me do my closing so I can go. But look, people. Let me say this. And I look, I got to say this. I'm not saying this because I know the person, right? And I don't think that no one is exempt from, being given the opportunity to serve that country. To be honest, in a serious note, people who wants to seriously serve that country and make an impact, kudos to them. I think they should be given the opportunity to serve. It's always a privilege to serve your country. right? My issue is people should do so honestly, right? It should be about making a difference, right? And those making the appointments should make these appointments and appoint people in areas to get the best out of them. These are my only issue. But this every time I hear people talk about George Lobo, it's not that because I know the guy, right? Or he's one of my buddies, right? But George Lobo is very competent. He's very competent. You
Have he
can't
worked for you before, sir?
say that again.
Have he worked for you before? Did you go to work with him?
But
at
I'm
office?
sorry,
Must
Chris,
he,
let him finish, please. Let him ask this question, please.
Must he work? Wait. To determine whether someone is
Hey, he's
competent,
coming
must
here.
he work?
When you
Must
speak
he
of
work?
competence, what are you basing?
Must he work for me?
Is it like the
Why are
first
you
and foremost the
busy?
qualification?
Why are you busy?
I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm talking about. Huh?
Why are you
Qualification.
busy?
What are you basing the statement competence?
Well,
Right.
he doesn't have a. He has not been given a job, so we can't talk about a specific competence in a specific area. When we talk about competence, I'm talking about the fact that he's a very educated brother, right?
What
who
level?
knows his
What
who
level of
knows his craft.
education?
So what does
Wait
that
a minute.
Wait a minute. But
Finish his
this
thought,
is my end of my time to
What level?
close.
No.
The level, please.
End of my time to close.
Yeah,
End of my time to close. So what does the level of one education?
No, the reason why we ask the question quickly, the reason why we ask the question, you said very, very educated.
Very educated. That's
But
what you
someone who is very educated must have a level.
Now, leave
I'm
the
very
book
educated. I
open.
don't have a master's degree.
Okay.
What are you talking about? But
You
I'm very
don't have a
educated. So what are you
one-word-
saying?
That's
What are you saying? No,
And
hold
he
on for a
just want
second.
you
Hold
to
on for a
tell us
second.
what level.
When
That's
you
all.
make the comment,
the question.
Has a bachelor's degree.
well, look, let me close, bye.
Let's go to the word VERY.
Very educated is about someone, in my perspective, understanding what in the or specific area, understanding what they are trained in. That person could be very educated. Now, in the Liberian term, you were saying that a very educated person must be a doctor or must be a lawyer.
Not
or must have a
necessarily,
master's
but it's a
degree.
group of
So when you
another
say,
day. Anyway, we don't have the
so
time,
wait a
but
minute,
not
no, so
necessarily.
when you say what level?
Yeah.
So the reason why I made mention of that when you say what level, but here is the overall point that I was making. Whether it's George Lobo, whether it's Dwalu and others, I think Dwalu is very, very, very competent. I think he's very competent. To your question, he hasn't worked for me, but I think he's very competent because I know the man, right? And so people, whether it's Lobo, Dwalu, or whoever else, people should be given and appointed in positions where they are competent, where you can get the best out of them.
I agree with you.
But when people make mention of certain people, I've never once said that Lobo should be given a job only because he has been loyal to the president. But loyalty means a whole lot too, because not a lot of people in Liberia understand what loyalty means and the fact that it actually pays. Do you know how many people have hopped from government to government, from politicians to politicians, only because of that ballot? We haven't seen this kind of stuff. So people that are honest about serving that country should be given an opportunity to serve that country. And I will defend on this very platform any day amongst anyone that if George Lobo, let me finish this. That if George Lobo is given an opportunity to serve, I think whichever position he's given, he will be effective and he deserves that opportunity.
Thank you. Who next, Tomalin?
Mr. Moderator, I give my time to Grace. Okay. I'm logging out. I'm going to do something. I give my time to
But if you have to say in the way that you log in or you get logged, I can be giving
time. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you, Grace.
You can be giving time. What is this?
You will leave it back.
Not 4 minutes.
So I'm 4 minutes.
So let me go after Robert and close because I have to hop to a meeting as well. So I'm going to say this real quick. So in a president's annual message, he raised the issue in terms of the recurrent expenditures, right? So you have a lot of people there, and the recurrent expenditures are eating up a lot of the budget. So this is an opportunity for him to change that dynamics, and he wouldn't have to go through harmonization to get it done. Any position out there that is not required, meaning it's not mandated by statute or by some law, he shouldn't fill those positions. The reason being, he wouldn't have to worry about first harmonizing that position later on. And it will also reduce the constraint on the budget in terms of the number of people that he has on the payroll. It might sound radical, but I think it's one way to put a little bit more in the budget for development agenda. People might get pissed off saying, oh, this other position here. So long the position wasn't created by statute that is mandatory to be filled, don't fill that position. Redefine. Remember what happened? A quick example, because this is well known in terms of the position that Cummings had over at Coca-Cola. Remember how Coca-Cola changed the dynamics of that position and rebranded it? A lot of governments have gone through the same thing in terms of shrinking their wage bills by closing out certain positions that making it no longer exist. I wouldn't even bother myself in certain ministries that I should probably intend to do away with. But I think it is important. Don't fill certain positions. You won't have to worry about the harmonization coming from the IMF or the World Bank or any one of these other agencies that you need to borrow from. So don't fill that position. Put a bunch of your names out there. People fight, do the confirmation, get it done. And the rest of the positions that is not required by law, don't fill that position. It sounds radical, but think about it. It's going to help him in the long run in terms of his development agenda. So just wanted to say that, and I will listen to you guys offline.
Can I comment? Okay. So I want to piggyback on what Robert said. And I agree with him 100%. I will defend the right of Lobo and Dwalu and everybody, even the ones who insulted me. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's politics. I know I never insulted anybody. That's not my style of politics. I did go hard, but I never insulted anybody. I didn't cast aspirations on their patriotism. I didn't say they were supporting a candidate who I didn't support, so it means they didn't love their country. It is their right as a Liberian citizen to serve their country, and I think George Lobo falls within that right too. And like Robert said, I've consistently said that I don't think anybody was more effective in disseminating Joseph Boykai's message than George Lobo did. And he was supporting Joseph Boykai when it was not cool to support Joseph Boykai. Most of the people who are whining and crying around here,
Fagon made a case too, though.
Yeah, but he jumped on board. He told the people to hush.
But God, they will be considered more qualified and competent.
Oh, you by who? By you? By you?
I give you your time to talk.
By you? You gotta be kidding me, right, Lofa? Now to judgment that don't even try that kind of stuff.
Go ahead, Ben.
I'm gonna give him my time back.
Sorry,
you would have went 5 seconds, man.
5 seconds. Thank you, Pee-wee. Thank you. The New York Progressive. You know I'm a member of the New York Progressive. But let me say this. I think when George Lobo was defending Joe Boykai, it was not even cool to defend Joe Boykai.
Yep.
When people never thought Joe Boykai was ever going to be president, George Lobo was there calling his name. And I believe if there's any young person who deserves a strong seat at Joe Boykai's table, because it is true, political loyalty does matter, right? But I agree with the notion that he should be placed somewhere where he will be beneficial, where he will have impact. I don't expect to see George Lobo as Minister of Finance or Minister of something, wherever Joseph Boykai believed that he would be the most impactful, I think George Lobo should serve there. So does Dwalu. So does the Fadiga twins. So does Eugene Fagon. By the way, I thought Eugene Fagon would have been a great pick for one of the top information dissemination, because like it or not, the country as a whole respond to people like Eugene Fagon. That is just a fact. And if you want to survive in the current political climate in Liberia, you need a mouth like Eugene Fagon. Say what you want to say. When CDC lost Eugene Fagon, the information dissemination wheel started falling off. That is a fact. And they take it from me, who we went at it very, very viciously. The last thing I want to say is that, and I want to thank the president for tuning in. The intel that I got was very, very strong for somebody very close to him. I want to thank the president for watching. I don't know if he's still watching, but I want to say to him, Mr. President, I think
he's going to bed now.
You are in a very, very consequential position. You are in a very strategic time. It is important that you don't cave into pressure. I think form the government that you believe will be able to drive your agenda. More than likely, you may be a one-term president. You may decide you want to run for a second term. That is your constitutional right. I've always said that. We will respect whatever decision you make, but I think they should give you the opportunity to form your government. Our job in the opposition would be to hold you accountable. I consistently said that. This is not a situation where we want you to fail. We don't want you to feel. But please recall Francis Yimani's nomination, because I think it's a disgrace. He is a disgrace to you. He represents everything that you campaign against. Everything that you said you didn't like, he represents that. So I think you should withdraw his nomination. On the issue of Sarah Beslo Yanti, I think she should be given the benefit, the opportunity to go before the Senate and defend her credentials. I think I believe she is well qualified to be Minister of Foreign Affairs, but hey, that's me. I don't have a vote in the Senate. What I want her to do is to go there and defend her credentials. And if she falls short, she should not be confirmed. I will say that. If she falls short in defending her credentials, she should not be confirmed, because at the end of the day, when you want to be the chief diplomat and the dean of the Liberian cabinet, you should be somebody who should go out there and stand up, and nobody should be pointing behind your back to say, oh, this person has a thing around the neck. But I thought it was a fascinating show. I want to thank all of y'all, and I'm taking and I'm giving you all the time back.
And by the way, look, Fagon is above being a deputy. He should be a minister now. He above that.
They said carrying FBS. Let me not close that. You got 4 minutes, so you'll be the last. 4 minutes.
Let's get another chance to close.
No, but you got 4 minutes.
And be with my time.
Go ahead, Mama.
I think President Boaga should be afraid of Eugene Fagon, because Eugene Fagon, when CDC got rid of him, he came out here and he said everything he could for the government. You have to be very careful when you put in your position, especially when you govern your country. You don't need people who can do their working wrong.
When things for the gun, we say also.
People are fighting everything. Some of the things that were happening, the president were in the back, they talking to everybody. So we don't need somebody like Eugene Fagon to
Thank you, Grace.
He needs to go to office.
Well said, Grace.
He can be recessionist with staying in that position.
Oh my God. Yeah, Grace. It's vicious, oh. What?
Yes.
But Grace, I agree with you 100%.
Thank you, Robert.
That's a message. Chill.
Grace for defense minister.
I swear.
She'll protect the Republic.
She wanna say it as it is. That's all.
I mean, I'm not a friend of the man, but come on.
But it ain't what the farmer injection.
Let Grace finish now.
We gotta close. The kids crying.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Coming on Facebook and doing propaganda and talking plenty is not really worrying you nothing. And so we want to tell the president that. I will also say that, your academic credentials is an integrity issue. So anybody who lie about their credentials, then we wonder what you lying about. What else? So we're waiting to see what the Senate will do. And I hope that, because I'm a woman, I empower women a lot. And I'm also a feminist, as I said. But I just want everything to be right. I will stay with Sarah Beslo Yanti, but I want her to defend her credentials. Once she defends her credentials, we are behind her, because we want women to be in places like those and to represent our country. When it comes to George Lobo is my friend. George Lobo, we used to be friends before. We're not that close.
Lofa don't like the guy.
Yeah. George Lobo had been to my house here. He met my husband. We are
don't do that, Robert. Lobo and I we are friends, to be honest. Don't do that, man. I like the kid.
Lofa and me. I think he and Lofa for the simple meaning. We're not buddies, but we know him, and we can tolerate him. Yeah. He's kind of a friend to us, And how the thing is that if you don't have no record of work,
come on, man,
you cannot show us a duration on a job for at least a year. Even when you go for your master program,
are you kidding me?
Grace,
come on, Grace. Who are you talking about? John Lobo?
No, guys, let a woman land. Let a woman land. Come on.
Okay, let her land.
Grace.
I mean, let her land. Guys, let her land.
You need to protect me.
But when Lofa was not protecting me, I waited for Lofa to close. He didn't want to interrupt.
You're going 3 minutes, 55 seconds.
The guy gotta go. That close, man.
Yeah, but they're not allowing the lady to close up. Dude, let her land. Go ahead.
Even when you go put in your application for a master program, even with 3.0, the people want to know whether you kept a job at least for 1 year straight.
For 1 straight year.
At least, if not, then you were in school doing, you in school trying to merge with in your master program while you graduate from your bachelor's degree. and you cannot show us a simple job that you serve
consistently
for a year.
Consistently.
Yeah, man. So you cannot say that our country gave people position and
Yeah,
power
we're not saying
job
breaking the law.
because they were loyal to
Don't
somebody.
mind Lofa. You don't like the guy.
I mean, Robert, we're not even giving you a chance to Robert, you need to rest, brother.
Okay, I will rest. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
man.
I will rest.
Yeah, so and that's the problem we have now. The president, he's very loyal to the president. I will give it to him. He came here, he did his part, he talked on the politics. He loved Liberia. We had their protests before Lofa, all of us were in the group. We went from DC to this place. Yeah, we understand. But Honorable Baka can hire him. Maybe he can be assistant to the president's secretary. You know, those kind of things because he want him.
Let me get out of here, man.
But
Raul, don't leave, please. Raul, don't leave. Raul, please don't be.
Let the whole opinion, Robert.
Yeah. You talk and I'll give you a chance to talk. So you have to sit there and listen to me, Brother Robert. Yeah, so his loyalty to the president is good enough. But the president can keep him near to him and give him some job for him to continue to be loyal to him, and they can be walking from place to place. He can be, in the escort team and all of that. But as far as our position then that's supposed to have experienced people, and we have the Liberians are a lot educated and experienced and got, I mean, a lot of things to give to the country. And we silence all the people because people come on Facebook with a lot more talk, this and that. Then so we should get put in our position, and that's the change we said we wanted when President we gave Fina Bono the chief of staff. Everybody had all kind of things to say here, and I'm sure he gave her that job because she was loyal to him. So if we voted for change, where is the change?
All right, let me see.
No, my 4 minutes. Where is
no,
it?
but the 4 minutes past now. Yeah.
You been over 4 minutes. You're in 8 minutes. But Lofa is not showing the time. Lofa will not show the time.
4 minutes, 5 seconds.
No, Lofa will never show the time.
Because she say everything he wants to say.
Okay, so my time when I'm talking. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Robert.
Let me keep my telephone and then.
Yeah, we're in the 8 minutes, Grace.
Yeah, no
you said a lot already.
Okay, 30 seconds.
In her thought. Please.
So if we go back to that kind of way of doing things, it's not going to make Liberia a better place.
Not at all.
We all here, we got politicians in that we love, Tomalin, George, and Salon, they platform here for many years. They were doing Facebook. They were behind We Are. When We Are became president, he gave Tomalin a no job. They still remain friends with him. Yeah, they still were his friends. So we're just saying that, for a change Liberia, the better Liberia we're looking for, we're not putting people in position who don't have the I mean, even the work history. Let's just go there. The work history. We're not going to do that. I thank you.
Thank you. So let me just follow.
Can I get 30 seconds, please?
No. It's my turn. Let me go, please.
Okay.
Let me just say this, right? At this juncture in Liberia's history, we need technocrats. We appreciate the loyalty, right? Like Sis Grace said, the young man can be given the opportunity to walk alongside Honorable Boykai for his loyalty. Give him Siku Kalasko job or something like that. Let the young man learn. Okay, we are looking for experienced young people, technocrats, to take on the responsibility of moving Liberia forward. We are not simply looking for people who would chant battle cries. If you're talking about these kinds of responsibilities,
Lofa, you don't like the guy. It's personal. You don't like the guy.
Come on.
No, you interrupted me. So it's just fair.
All right.
You don't like the guy.
All right. Okay. So if that's your assumption,
no, I know. Now it's been confirmed.
Living in the Western world where you're opportune to have excelled to where you are today, you will understand that people are not giving jobs based on their close proximity to people in government, but based on merits. And unfortunately, like my sister Grace rightfully said here, job experience, consistent job experience. Professor Kennedy here would not even hire a person who cannot prove the level of consistency at a specific position for a little over a year or so. So why are we pushing these kind of behaviors when it is with our friends? I would say to you today, Honorable Boycott thus far is doing a great job. Give this young man an opportunity to get the needed exposure to the professional work environment so he can understand and obtain that the practical aspects of things that he needs in order to excel. If he so desire to work in government in Liberia or anywhere else, George Lobo is a smart young man, and I'm pretty sure he can succeed anywhere in the world if he invests the needed time to acquire the needed knowledge and the level of professionalism that is needed for him.
So, Vesta, can you give me 10 seconds, please? Please, sir.
Until no, you're not using any of my 10 seconds.
No, not you. I don't want your 10. You're not going to give me 5 seconds. I'm Sylvester.
Right. So here's my thing, right?
But you've been past the 2 minutes.
Lofa, you finish here?
Exactly. You've been past the 2 minutes.
I gave you 15 seconds.
Thank you. Let me say this in 15 seconds. No, the man, none of your time. The man gave me 15 seconds.
I'm giving 15 seconds of my time to him.
Thank you. This is coming from a personal place and it's not been confirmed with Lofa Julius. One second. And I challenge you, when you come on a public radio station and speak on someone's person, you just come with a fact. To sit here and say that Lobo cannot prove that he's worked in a professional job for consistently a year, I challenge you this. I will challenge you of $5,000 right now. I bring documentation to prove that George Lobo has been in a professional business in the finance world for more than 2 years at a particular job. And if you cannot, wait. If you cannot counter that, if you cannot counter that, you don't need 5,000 to my charity or choice. We can speak on people's person with opinions and guilt. You have a personal issue with this man, and has shown the man that you do. Thank you. But look what this man done.
Let me quickly close here by saying this, and
this is absurd, man.
The position of Lofa, the position Sekou Carrasco held is a very high-profile position.
But he doesn't even know that, Sylvester.
Robert, let him man close. It's a very high-profile position, special aid to the president at the level of the U.S.
Depend on how you use.
Lofa, let him man finish.
Lofa, let people talk.
Quickly, when I moved into Arizona 2015 from a learning program, the first person I encountered was George Lobo. George Lobo served as the president of the African Student Association of ASU, the Arizona State University, the biggest research university in America. Right? So the biggest research university. So I see a thing. Come again?
No, you're moving the goalpost.
No. Come on, man. I'm trying, madam. What I'm saying to you, I say all these things. I interacted with George Lobo from Arizona from 2015, 16, 17. I was very close. We had interaction with, and at the time we were projecting Joseph broadcast. He even said most of the things. We interacted, we had some intellectual exchanges, and with the rest of it. He's a competent and very smart young man. And I believe in his tenacity to move through and break the nerve through the system. Thank you. Right? I believe into those things. Right? I'm not speaking to you like my ASU brother, but I'm speaking that I know that he's a competent person. Got it something up. So, to serve as president of more than 7,000 students, black students at that level, so you should be someone I can give out. Right.
Thank you, Sylvester. Thank you.
Mr. President, quickly follow. Let me say quickly to the president in few seconds. Follow. I just want to say Aninu, and let me say to you, Mr. President, we are grateful to see you as president from Lofa County. We are grateful to see you. We Lofans, I would say that he's won already as president. So we're grateful. What we're going to do, we're going to support you where you do good. If you were to trip, we will come out and say to you, Mr. President, what you did. But we'll profit all of the good things you're going to do. We'll criticize you constructively. Not negativity is not good. But George Lobo is a young man. So thank you very much, Adi. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Look, it's no doubt that George Lobo is very qualified, and I think he would do well. I mean, wherever he's placed, he would do very well for Liberia. I think it's not about him volunteering, but I think George Lobo is a very sound guy, and he would do very well. So, but let me say, Mr. President, I think you need to take a pause on Lofa now. Appoint people from other counties now. You can't give all the important jobs to the Lofa people. It's just not fair. Appoint people from other counties need a job. But let me say to my brothers and sisters who are sitting at the president's house and still trying to get job, if you leave your job and go Liberia, what job the point Liberia will get now? Y'all go take all the job from there. You want man, Dwalu want to be major and all of that? Who told you that you can? Because stand up promoter, you smart now. I thought you think you can go like brother like that. That's why
my brother is very competent. My brother is very competent.
Quickly, guys.
Very competent.
I'm learning that I think they had a meeting last night, Adenwa and Gafwan, and they're trying to get this guy to be recalled as Justice Minister designate Cooper Kura. I hope maybe next week we'll hear it. And then next week, I know we have the confirmation of the Transport Minister, Salif Ralph Tyler. He should be confirmed. Amin Modad should be confirmed as Commerce Minister. I'm supporting for the confirmation. Cyril Beslo Yanti should be confirmed as Foreign Minister and Chairman and Head of the Cabinet. And also, President Jumani should be rejected, should be recalled. Okay? I'll look forward to the President next week. President Boga said he won't see nobody there Monday. So, all the people there.
Monday. Good show, guys. I'll see you guys later. Have a good weekend.
Larry. Tomalin, the contact of the president who just alerted me that he was watching has also sent a recommendation for the team, and I just want to say it publicly. He has to say it publicly that we should do always towards the end of the show. We should do a segment where we say this is speaking directly to the president because he really enjoyed the show. I'm reading it. He really enjoyed the discussion. He likes the diversity, and he just wanted to send a kudos to the team. So I think we'll discuss that in the back, but I think it's important. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend. Let's pray for our
Thanks.
The country must be rescued.
Lofa do not like George Lobo. We'll come back on Monday.
Stop playing ahead of our boy George.
Tomalin, you ain't said nothing yet? All the things you ain't said nothing. We'll come back on Monday.
I support Lobo for David for administration.
I support
my mayor. They've been working for Ben for 2 years straight. Say making sure one job. Come on, man.
Hold on, Robert. You've been working in the hotel. You've been. Why aren't you
support for mayor?
2 years in the bank. You get up and go. 2 years at the bank.
I mean, I was talking to the chairman of the chairman.
I'll see you guys.
2 years in the bank. You end up to go to my brother for jobs.
John Malu says, looking for a King James Bible. No, JMB and RC, two different Liberia. He is a conformist and I am a transformist. Cannot be parked in anyone's garage even for a second. He also said,
John Malu,
get me a King James Bible. If not, then JMB forever reject me. And he said, abandon in the witness of all these God-talking people. JMB says, I don't carry the Bible under my arm and believe in forever divine intervention. And I am not a conformist Christian.
Wow.
Well,
what does that mean? Well, yeah, where is John Malu?
Can we get you on the show?
February Monday.
Can we get
Where
you on the
is John
show?
Malu, by the way? Yeah, we got to get John Malu.
February Monday. Guys, have a good weekend, man.
All right,
See
man.
you guys. Thank you, guys.